What? How dare
The
you
only
say that,
the only
sir?
the only Ubisoft game that I like is one that bot absolutely loathes is Assassin's Creed, but that's not
And
it.
on that note, everybody in the chat knows what you think about Ubisoft games now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast. It is so good to see everybody in the chat. All you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support. And yes, we are live and we are getting into it. And as you heard, the only game franchise that Dark Optimus likes out of Ubisoft is Assassin's Creed, or as I like to say, another generic action game. So, yeah,
Oh man,
to
no,
me,
I don't
that's
know. They're
what
changing some shit up this time
me.
around. So
Well, to me personally, I am Assassin's Creed 2. That was my favorite Assassin's Creed. I thought that had the
I mean,
most
same here, but
in terms of like doing everything stealth wise and all that good stuff, man, there was nothing like it to me, and I feel like that was the pinnacle right there. That was when it was the greatest. But again,
I
I
mean,
think
I will agree that it has lost some of that assassin feel to it.
yeah, an assassin where you can just go out and guys, we're in the introductions and I'm already going off. As you guys can see, we've been off for a couple weeks. I've been dealing with some personal issues, medical issues, stuff like that. The community has been absolutely outstanding. I'll just give you guys a quick update. Every single test that I have done so far has come up clear. I still don't know. Pardon my French. I still don't know. No, I'm not even going to use. I still don't know what's going on yet. All right. But I have been feeling better the last couple days and stuff, and I'm trying to get everything figured out. So until then, I can't just let this channel just freeze. I missed like talking to you guys. I don't tell the panel, but I missed them as well. I didn't really get a chance to talk to them either.
What?
Don't tell them.
Oh, we missed you too, man.
Guys, I'm talking to the chat right
yourself.
now. I'm talking to the chat right now. All right. But yeah, so when it came down to it, I was like, it's Thursday. It is time to go. So pardon me if I have to shake off some rust and whatnot to get back into this. We do have some awesome topics to talk about, some stuff to really get into. And, before we do that, we got to get into the introduction. So I am going to first introduce my brother from the West Coast. This man has saved the world so many times, I lost count, basically because I ran out of hands and feet to count fingers and toes. It is Dark Optimus. What is going on, brother?
I mean, I haven't been saving the world lately because everybody keeps fucking it up. They just keep freaking not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they know who they are. They know who they are. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here, man. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, so I missed you guys as well.
Aww. You better hit the thumbs up on this podcast just because you said like you're getting all sentimental right now. I hope you did it. I hope you did it, man.
A tear went down my face when I hit the like button.
First you're gonna cry, then I'm gonna cry, and then the next
the whole panel's gonna cry.
Oh, see, I was doing a segue there, man. I was gonna say, and then the next person I'm gonna introduce is gonna cry. My brother, Crispy Bomb. What is going on, bro?
Oh, what is up? It is great to be back up in the realm of the next podcast. We are going to give it to you the right way. Oh yeah, Satan is here, and I can't believe he missed me. I mean, come on, Dark. I mean, maybe it's the Michael Myers getting to your head. I don't know, but
it is.
I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun because you've been sticking with that since God, what, 3 weeks ago? So. Yeah. I like it.
Well, it's Halloween. I gotta keep it going for Halloween. But next week it'll be different.
Yeah. We all know. That's what he's listening to half the time. Is he got the mask on his head?
It's true. I listen to that song at least once a week.
Wow. Dude. I'm about to call your psychiatrist and let them know because I'm pretty sure you have not told her yet. And yes, I do know it's a woman. By the way, I'm just saying. I did a little research. Yo, guys, next on the list in terms of introductions, man, when he joined this show and he decided to stay full time, man, it was a win-win for me because not only is he a gamer, but he also gets into the business side of gaming. You know, that side that a lot of people claim to know a lot about, but when it comes down to it, they just kind of regurgitate things other people have said, where this guy really breaks it down, goes into the finances as well as, you know, the typical gaming stuff, talking about games and consoles and, of course, the PC master race, and that would be Predator. What is going on, bro?
What up, folks? I ain't gonna cry, just so you know. So
he shed a tear, like Cloudy and a Chance with Meatballs. He shed a tear, and then his eye just sucked it right back up, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
I shed a turd.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy to be here, man. Glad to be back. It's been a while, so you know, hey, happy you guys are showing up and slowly trolling back in here. Hopefully, we don't get the normal knuckleheads in here today, but no K Mega today, so I ain't got nobody to talk shit to. So be on the lookout, chat. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna have to do a. Wow, I'm gonna have to do a shout out for K Mega. Hold on 1 second here.
What's he doing? Is he taking a shit again?
No, I had to go in. Yeah.
I like how you didn't deny that you were taking a shit before, but thanks.
Yeah. Yo, well, first off, I do want to shout out Phantom Kraken hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, glad to see you back, bro. We need more good bots like you out here in the gaming streets. And, brother, I do appreciate that. At the end of the day, man, you know, gaming is a hobby and it's a part of people's lives, man. But I do think that there's a lot of people out there that take it way too seriously, especially on social media. Like, you know, when it comes down to it, play what you want to play, have fun with what you want to play, you know, with the games you want to play and stuff like that. I think people get really way too crazy out there, you know, talking about like these systems and stuff. But with that being said, we all have opinions, and I'm glad that we can come together and share our opinions here on this channel. So I definitely appreciate that. And I do want to say shout out to my brother K Mega. There was, I believe, an ice storm happened where he lives, and within that ice storm, power got knocked out, stuff like that. And
it's called his wife. I mean, I'm just kidding.
What?
Oh my God.
Wow. I do not co-sign on anything Dark Optimus says right now. I'm just saying. But yo, shout out to K Mega. Hopefully he gets his power back soon. He said something about buying a generator, or he bought one, and it's something about it didn't have enough power or something like it. True K Mega fashion, yo. Shout out to my brother K Mega. But yo, he's out there. He's braving it. He's braving it right now in the cold without electricity or limited electricity. So shout out to my brother. Send him some you know, good wishes on Twitter and whatnot. I believe his phone is still working. So yeah, just let him know we're all thinking about him, all that good stuff. But yo, the show must go on, and we got to get into topics here. So let's start with our buddies over at CD Projekt Red, because, again, I am catching up on the gaming news. There are certain things I've seen. There's certain things I have to look into more. But one of the things I saw was Cyberpunk got delayed again. And I saw a crazy reaction out there on social media. Now, just for people who, I don't know, might not know, it's been delayed 21 days, basically 3 weeks more. And it's coming out in December now. And from what I've seen, a lot of people were really, really upset about this. And I just got to give my opinion. When it comes down to it, I'm like, what's a 3-week delay? And with a developer that is known for coming out with, you know, quality games. Now, granted, their last game that they came out with, The Witcher 3, it wasn't the best running game when it first came out. But, you know, through patches and everything like that, they got it running smoothly over time. But I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not like it's 3 months. Predator was going off on a list when we were when we were off air about games that were being delayed until 2021 and stuff like that. And this game, it's got a 3-week delay. I don't see what the issue is. So, you know what? I started talking about Predator. So let's go to Pred first on this. Pred, what is up with like your thoughts and opinions on Cyberpunk getting delayed 3 weeks? Do you think it's a big deal? Did you see anything on like their reasoning as to why it's being delayed for that? I mean, that's a short amount of time, in my opinion, when it comes to game development. Yo, what are your thoughts? And did you see anything on why it's delayed?
Honestly, when I saw the delay, I was like, I didn't even read it. I was like, fuck. Like I didn't care at that point. Like I just wanted to know when it was coming out. Like let me look at the date. But like I was already like, with the new consoles, the new PC I got, the fucking like the games I'm gonna like Assassin's Creed. I'm already like mentally trying to crunch those games in and play them. So honestly, I'm okay just because of the timeline of all the other shit that I want to play. It's almost like when the new boxes release, whether you're a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy, when they come out, I'm going to be playing Assassin's Creed anyway. There's a couple, and that gives me time to finish that, to get it knocked out, at least most of it anyway. But like, I'm actually okay with it being delayed 3 weeks. That's not a problem. I think my bigger issue was, keep in mind, this game was supposed to come out on the Series X, in what, March?
Or
Something
the
like
1X,
that.
the 1X.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the 1X, in March. Like people bought consoles for this. People bought graphics cards for this game, for their PC. So like there was actually a I think it was a 2080 Ti like card specifically like with the aesthetics for Cyberpunk that people bought because they bought it for the game and they wanted it because it looked cool, and they've already upgraded that shit. Some people because the game's not here. Like you should have been able to play that and beat it by now, but this game's still not out. That's an issue. There was marketing for this game and it never came out. So that's another question I'm gonna have. Like, how is Microsoft supposed to market this now? I mean, let's be real. Like, I mean, the marketing happened months ago. People have forgotten about that. Like they had.
Do you think? Hold on. Do you think this game really needs that marketing though? Like, I think that it's one of the most anticipated
games. Yeah. No, it's not that it needs the marketing. It's the fact that Microsoft marketed it and spent money to market it, and it's still not out. Like they put money into They invested money to market this game for their console that they no longer sell. By the way,
yeah.
This was not a 1S custom console. It was a Series X. I'm sorry, an Xbox One X custom console.
That is true.
And now they put money into marketing, into commercials, into a custom console, a controller. I have both. I have the controller and the box, and the game is not out. It's not out at all. So like that's a problem to me. Like I want to know. My biggest thing is like even before this 3-week delay, I asked this question before. Like, is Microsoft still marketing this game as an Xbox? Like, is you know what I'm saying? Like, are they still marketing the game like they would do? Because you don't see commercials you don't see that much anymore. And it's almost like they just like fuck it.
Dude, that is a great question because you're right. I haven't seen any commercials or advertisements for it. Of course, within the gaming community itself, there are people who have constant eyes on this game. Again, it's still one of the most anticipated. But when it comes to the marketing, dude, I gotta agree with you on that. It's like, dude, Xbox marketing cannot catch a break. Like you would look at the
game they've marketed. This current gen has fucked them. Like it's either the like go back. Like they think about the games they've marketed. Let's put it that way. Rage, that game launched like shit. I'll put it this way. I'm not gonna go through all the games, but either somebody who works for the company that they had marketing rights for it might have come out and said something fucked up about Xbox, or they delayed the game so much. Like, I mean, think about it. Think of all the games they've marketed this generation, and there's always been a fucking problem with it every single time.
Dude,
It's released fucked up and broken, or somebody that works in that company says something fucked up about the game. So like, I mean, it's not Microsoft's fault, but still, like it's like another little fucking kick in the balls, to Xbox, to Microsoft.
Dude,
So
and you would look if you looked at this on paper, especially back before like March of this year, right? If you looked at this on paper and it's like, all right, we got marketing for CD Projekt Red's next new big game, Cyberpunk. Like that would look like a no-brainer kind of like marketing win right there. You know what I'm saying?
even with Assassin's Creed, there's issues behind that game. Like, and that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So,
Yo,
like, I mean, where I think it's like 4K 30, and that's not an issue. But like, you got a new console coming out. Like, don't you want that shit to hit 60? Like you want to like that's because technically, let's be real, that's their showcase game right now. It's a third party because they don't have anything coming out first party. It's gonna, but that should have. It's not again. It's not their fault. It's just like it just seems like it's just like a.
Yo,
like
it's weird. Yeah, it's like they got some type of curse going on, man. They need to like they need a preacher right now, man. When it comes to the marketing side, man, they need to repent or something because like it's just not working for them, man.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the delay. I think I do kind of worry about the game being even with the 3 weeks, like it just went gold like 2 weeks ago. Like why now? Like, and it's just like I'm actually concerned about the performance of the game, even when it comes out in December now. Like I was already worried about it before, because it seems like they have so many issues with it. They've taken a lot out of the game they're going to put in it. They're talking about the whole crunch culture thing going on. I just like now I'm just kind of like, okay, what's really going on here? What is the problem? And I didn't read the article, so somebody can, maybe one of the other panel members can tell me what the fuck is going on with it. But like I said, people have been anticipating this game for a while, and if they're gonna get it right and it launches without any fucking hiccups, good. But
I think when the game comes out, people are going to
weeks.
be. I think it's just going to be. It's going to be that CD Projekt Red game, kind of like moving forward. And I don't think there are going to be any kind of like big issues. Even if it comes out the way Witcher 3 did, which again, performance wise was definitely not perfect, but they kept working at it. They kept smoothing it out and stuff. And I think that's the worst case scenario when it comes to Cyberpunk. But Pred, you are right. We got to get the rest of the panel members in on this. So let's go to the West Coast on this, man. Dark, you always have a unique kind of like spin, a unique point of view when it comes to topics like this. So what do you think about this 3-week delay when it comes to Cyberpunk? Do you think it's a big deal? Like, did you hear any reasoning as to why it's delayed? What's going on, bro?
I don't think it's a big deal. I from what I've heard, from what I've seen on watching videos and reading about things, the reason why they delayed it is because they have 9 consoles that they have to optimize for. So they have to delay it in order for that day 1 patch or that day 0 patch to work on all 9 of those consoles. So they got the one, they got the 1X, they got the Series X, they got the Series S, they have Google Stadia, they have PC, they have PlayStation 5, they have PlayStation 4, PlayStation
Tiger handhelds,
PlayStation 4 Plus, or PlayStation 4 Pro. So they have 9 SKUs of consoles that they have to optimize for, and they're having some difficulties getting. I mean, because the game is ready. The game's ready. The game's ready to ship. The game is ready to go day 1. Like
you just said, the
you
game's ready like
now.
3 times in a row, dude. Like,
well, it is. It is ready. It's ready. So
they said the PC game was ready. The PC version was ready.
No, all of them. They're all ready. It's just that patch, that day 0 patch that they need to fix, because apparently like it's not optimized enough for the old generation of consoles, because at one point the game started moving towards the next generation of consoles, which is the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and Series S. So when it started moving over to there, it started being more well optimized, but the
Well,
older consoles aren't as. I'm just saying, like, they're not as proficient as what we're going to be getting in November, but they want to keep continuing to give those games to those people because
it's
not
cross-gen,
everybody's going to
and
be able to.
it's
Right,
cross.
but
And then not only
but
that, but they made a limited edition 1X. Real quick, Dark. I do have
right.
a super chat, and it's an answer to Predator. Shout out to Stodgy Caesar hitting up that super chat, brother. Thank you for the support. I definitely appreciate it. He says, check Xbox Twitter right now. They're giving away Cyberpunk and an Xbox Series X. Marketing is ongoing, Pred. So, Pred, obviously they had to change their marketing, but it seems like, they're still in it with Xbox. But again, Caesar, I do have to side with Pred on one thing. We haven't seen marketing in terms of like the commercials or advertisements. The social media marketing is really cool, and it does show exactly what you said, Caesar. But I'm like, is there going to be more than that? Um,
Well, that's the thing. From what I've seen for this particular topic, it's just that from what I've heard and from what I've seen is that it's the patch for the day zero patch that is giving them some trouble. So that's why they need the extra 21 days to work out all the kinks for all those 9 consoles or all 9 platforms. Which is a
yeah,
lot. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
that does make sense. 21 days. It's not really a long time.
that's
So
that's so yeah. But here's the thing. Like, this game has been delayed how many times already? This is their third delay.
is it their
It's
third?
like it's their third delay. Um,
Huh.
it's like man, I understand that like we need to be able to you know keep people on their systems, but then also upgrade their systems. But like, there's some things that they like Google Stadia. Like, do you really? I mean, is it even around anymore? Do they really need to optimize it for that? Like, I'm just saying. Like, do they really need to?
Well, it's officially
I'm
not dead. So like,
Yeah, I understand. Like, it's not officially dead or anything, but like, it's just like I fear in the future, like maybe not so much like later on, like maybe like 3 or 4 years down the road, but like next year and maybe even the year after that, that some of these games are going to be kind of not necessarily bogged down, but like getting delayed because they have to optimize it for all 9 of those platforms. That's a little.
that
I don't know, man. It's kind of up in the air right now with that kind of stuff. But I think that with this delay, it's no big deal. I think the death threats are completely ridiculous. I don't know why anybody would even think to themselves,
dude, death threats,
"I'm going to
really?
threaten the." Yeah, they were threatening these developers over the delay of 21 days. It's like, guys, it's still coming out in 2020. They're upset because CD Projekt Red lied and said that there's not going to be any more delays. But here's the thing, the the developers didn't know. Like, I think 99% of the company didn't know that this game was going to get delayed until the announcement. Actually, they got an email right before they announced that it was going to be delayed. And then it got delayed, and they were like, "Oh, okay, well." And a lot of people were upset about it. Even the devs were upset about it because they're like, "Well, we worked our heart and soul into this game, but so I don't know why, really. Like, I mean, from what I've heard and from what I read, that's the case, with the whole optimization. But I really don't know why they delayed it. It really doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
I mean,
I mean,
I think they had a reason for it, and
they
what?
do, but I don't think they're being completely. I don't think they're completely telling us everything that is
No,
wrong.
no.
Maybe
Oh, they won't. Like if they can get it, yeah, and that's any
you know.
company that's dealing
Yeah.
with anything kind of like retail, anything consumer based and stuff like that. If they can get away with sharing as little information as possible and having the consumer base be like, oh, all right, we get it. You know, just one thing I don't understand is like CD Projekt Red, they are known as one of the really kind of like pro consumer developers. So, you know, I know that they said, you know, it's not going to be delayed again, which I it's a stupid thing to even say because you don't know, you know, what's going to come up between, you know, where you are in development of that game when you said that and then, you know, to the release of that game. Anything can pop up to the point where there's going to be some type of delay. So CD Projekt Red should have never came out and said that, to be really honest with you, man.
Honestly, I think they just, I mean, honestly, to me, if they keep delaying it until it's completely, you know, done and finished and it's good and like they don't have the problems that they had with The Witcher 3, keep going. I mean,
Hold on, Crispy, you're left last for a reason?
The case, you know.
Okay. Somebody has to be last on every topic, man. I can't.
I think it's just you know, I think they just needed a little bit more time to, you know, finish a mission or something like that. I don't know, you know, like it's I just don't think that they're telling us everything. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, this is kind of why, but it's not really the reason.
Yeah. It's PR. It's PR talk when it comes down to it.
Right.
They're not going to give the actual reason. But again, you know, and after this Stark, I am going to move to Crispy as well. But again, you know, out of any of the developers out there that make video games, CD Projekt Red has been known as a pro gamer, pro consumer developer, you know, given the content for the money and all that good stuff. And so when all this happens, like people are trying to throw them under the bus. It doesn't make sense to me, man. It really doesn't, dude.
Well, I think the reason why people are trying to throw them under the bus is because let's think about it this way. They really have only made one really good game. I mean, yes, granted, they had The Witcher, they had The Witcher 2. Those games were good, and I've played them. The Witcher 1 is very hard to go back to and play. Witcher 2 is a little bit easier to go back and play, but there's still some of the kinks in it that make it kind of not
Witcher 2
fun for a lot
menu
of
system
people.
confused the crap out of me, man.
Right, exactly. That game is really confusing. So when they went to 3, the third one just opened it up and made it so much better that people gravitated towards it so much that it's like it's really only one game that has really put them on the map. You know, if Cyberpunk can do the same thing, then I think we can definitely guarantee that they are a top tier developer at that point. Right now, I wouldn't really put them in that category yet.
All right, brother. All right. It is always good to hear your opinion, bro. Now we're gonna have to go to Crispy last for some reason. Now, Crispy, I don't know what you're talking about. Obviously you have something to say on this topic that I don't know, but I don't know if you're gonna do your left field and then curveball back. I'm interested to hear, man. What are your thoughts about this delay, bro?
Blame Stadia.
Wow.
Blame Stadia. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Yeah. Enjoy that. That was like a little South Park throw out real quick. Yeah. Hey, dude, the architecture that's involved. There's only one outlier, and that is Stadia. And I don't know the hate that's involved. They're trying to release on every damn console. Like, why do you hate that? Like, this game is not meant for every damn console. It's really meant for what we're getting in less than a week.
I will actually disagree with you on that, just because of what Predator said earlier and how they made a limited edition 1X for Cyberpunk, and then it got delayed going closer to next gen. So it was made for this generation.
What? The 1X has actual GPU power compared to every other console, correct?
Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh, yo, guys.
Well,
Crispy
I'm
sharp
just saying,
tonight.
like,
He's sharp tonight, man.
I'm just telling you, like, you have to understand, you know, there's a certain amount of power involved in these games. And you know what? The optimization is going to come into focus. You have to understand that, you know, you're not going to get the load times. You're going to, You're gonna get jankiness. You're gonna get a lot of other things. If you're playing on the Xbox One or the original PS4, my God, it's probably gonna be horrible. To be honest, like it's probably gonna make you want to upgrade.
I want to play it on a Dreamcast. Can I play it on a Dreamcast?
Well, they haven't done that yet, but you never know. You know, you might see it on the Switch with the cloud. Anybody see that with Control? All of a sudden, it's got the cloud involved. Well, that's where I go and say Google don't have their shit together, and that's where I say maybe CD Projekt Red trying to do the right thing and saying those 1,000 people on Google Stadia, they want to play this game, so we're going to make it happen, and we're going to launch all at the same time because that's what we do. We're all about the gamer.
That does sound like CD Projekt Red. It sounds like something that they would do, to be really honest with you, man.
I mean, I think they're truly focused on launching every single console at the same time, and that's not shame on them. And how dare these people send death threats to these people? It's 21 days. And you know what? The only problem I have with a lot of these companies, because actually a lot of people forget, Last of Us 2 went gold and then got delayed, people. So you have to understand that these companies continue to push back their product because it's not right. But I would rather them say it's 3 months out instead of a month out and then another month out and then 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out. Like, that's annoying. Don't get me wrong. But that doesn't deserve you to go and DM people or put on Reddit that you want to kill them and stuff. That's, yeah. No. I mean, how dare you do that? It is a freaking game. It's supposed to be fun. You know what? I want CD Projekt Red to do the damn right thing and release the game at least at the best they possibly can in these circumstances. And
when it's ready.
All I'm asking. That's all I'm asking from them because you know
didn't
what?
They say in the past that the game would be ready when it's ready?
Ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
It ain't ready.
It ain't ready.
So, you know, I mean, are you that, like, go see a psychiatrist, people? Like, I've seen multiple of these devs because I follow most
Dark
of them.
will send you the phone number to his, okay? If
Yeah,
not, I will send hers.
There you go. No, and you know what? They do it all remotely now. So if you need to talk to somebody, talk to a psychiatrist so they can tell you, because they have a PhD in it, how stupid you are and how ignorant you are, and understand that we are not in the same type of environment we've always been in. Whew. The country's still halfway locked down. I mean, I'm here in the Connecticut that we live in is putting a border up against freaking Massachusetts. Like, this is the world we live in. It's freaking wild.
Whoa, like, I didn't hear about that.
Dude, they're saying that they don't want anybody from Massachusetts coming to Connecticut as of like 2 days ago. Dude, I just literally went to 3 stores in one day for my company because literally half the freaking store was taken out because they got contracted COVID or came in contact with people because of it. This thing is still here. These people are doing their entire job, which they're totally used to doing at an actual place. They're now doing it at home with the kids running around, with the wife or, you know, vice versa. The husband saying, "Hey, can you help me out with this?" You know what I mean? Like, you don't get it, dude. Like, dude, that's not easy. Just like it's not easy doing what I do in retail. Like, I understand it, but they're making a game that I'm going to come home and enjoy, and I'm going to kind of, escape from. And
Crispy,
I want them to do it the best.
I want to talk to you, Crispy. I want to talk to you, man. All right, because as much as I'm enjoying this, I will call it a mild rant, because Crispy, I've heard you hyper and stuff like that, and you're pretty strong right now, but you're not at level 100. And I gotta say, when it comes down to it, dude, it's only 3 weeks. Like, why is this such a big deal? To be really honest with you, man.
No,
like,
why? The question you have to ask yourself is, why are people so radical to sit there and send dead? Like, I've seen multiple.
Dude, I'm 41. I grew up when radical was a cool word. Like, yo, that's radical, man. So
yeah. When you were like skateboarding or something, I get it.
Skater die, brother. Skater die.
Yeah, well now radical is like let's send death threats to a dev who's just trying to make the best possible game possible. And
That's
that's
not radical. That's bogus. Okay.
no. It's radical, it's bogus, and it's also very ignorant. And I'm sorry. That's something that I cannot approve of. And literally I've blocked more people lately because some of the people that have said these things, they might have hid it behind like this Reddit post, but I found out who they were and I blocked them because I don't need people like that on my Twitter. I'm sorry. Like you know what, you want to argue with me, I'm fine with that. You're gonna start sending me death threats or telling my mom should have never had me or some crap like that. You know what?
Jeez.
You can get thrown in the bushes. And trust me, if we were physically looking in the eye, you could get thrown in the bushes because you know what? I'm not doing that. All right, you want to play on your social media and not have a face to yourself. Well, guess what? I'm old school. I used to freaking head up on people and used to freaking punch them in the mouth, and they knew. They knew I wasn't messing
and this
around.
is where I will put in my disclaimer. Me, as a brother to everybody and lover of all, do not condone any type of violence. I am just saying that as a disclaimer to myself, as Crispy is talking about knocking people out and throwing them in bushes. I'm putting it out there for me, okay?
You know what?
Just me.
Everybody hides behind this little avatar. I ain't hiding, bro. I'm here, okay? I'm here. I don't play around. I speak my damn truth.
Oh no,
that's the whole point. So you know what? Stop sending these guys death threats. Enjoy the game you're going to get in 21 days because I don't think they're going to delay it again. They're talking about things that are totally different than what they've talked about before. They're having trouble porting everything to all of these consoles and even streaming devices. That's what Google Stadia is. I think that's the outlier.
I think you're onto something with that when it comes to Stadia. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think you are.
And you know what? And let's we all joke. I don't know how many people are playing on that. I don't think any of us do. We don't pay attention to it. But they're not trying to leave anybody behind. So why shame them for that? I mean, there's no point in that. They're trying to do the right thing. So let's be honest here and understand that we're not in the same environment we were last year. You know what I'm saying? When these games came out, because we didn't really have all this happening. I mean, we got all kinds of games either going free or getting released in February or something wild that we've never seen. Like, who knows if like they really screw up enough, like Cyberpunk could be in Game Pass within the beginning of January or February. You never know, because they'll be like, well, let's just get the gamers back in and then we'll take it out after a couple months. You know what I mean? They have options now also. A lot of people forget that too. You have options. You have a lot more options than you used to. It was just release the game, release the disc or the digital version, and that was all you had. Now you can go and say, hey, let's throw it in Game Pass for a little bit, get people hooked, and then take it away. And they can do that.
Wow.
Because we've seen it.
Spoken like a true drug dealer right there. But yeah. But no, Crispy, yo, dude, I hope you're looking at the chat, man. You got a lot of people in your corner on that. I do think that whole Stadia thing, I think that could be a good reason. You know, I know Dark was talking about basically the day 1 patch, the day 0 patch or something. I mean, that's another viable thing that could actually sew right into Stadia as well. So, but I'm gonna be in my corner with 3 weeks is not that big of a deal anyway.
No.
When you look at the pedigree, you look at the nature of the developer, they are not known for screwing over their consumer base. When Crispy was like, maybe for those 1,000 people that have Stadia and they want to make sure the game releases even for those guys all at the same time so everybody can get to play. I don't have a problem with that personally. And I think those are all kind of like viable reasons for it. When it comes to people and death threats and stuff, I never condone any of that. I don't think with what we're talking about on this channel, on this show, death threats should never come up in the discussion, in my opinion, and that is my opinion on that. I will stick to that all the way through. But guys, we have other topics, man. Pred, do you ever notice how the first topic we always think it's gonna go quick, and it's like, oh well, no, never mind. That's gonna be that. We're gonna hook that for a while, but
You think it's gonna go quick? I tell you in the comments, like, no, we don't need to do that.
but
You don't listen. You don't listen.
I don't, guys. I don't listen to Predator enough. I have come to that realization. But guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button for us. All the support, everybody in the chat, absolutely awesome, man. Let people know where you are right now. Let's see if we can get a bunch more people coming in. I know we've been gone for 3 weeks, but I think we're back on like we never left. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, guys, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about 343. We got a couple topics to tackle when it comes to Halo Infinite.
Couple?
Yeah, no, a couple. I'm gonna hit the bigger one real quick, and then we'll get into something that's kind of being overblown. All right. So the big one, real quick, is the Halo Infinite lead. I believe it's Chris Lee. Has resigned, has stepped down as the lead for Halo Infinite, and of course, with everything that's going on around this title, with what people thought about the unveiling in terms of the game and how it looked, and kind of like what they're doing behind the scenes. There's already been different kind of like developers that have jumped off the project and were replaced by others, but now the lead is gone. And from what I'm hearing, Lee, before he left, he spent, I think it was like 3 weeks or so. He spent some time kind of getting the new lead, and I don't know who the new lead is. Again, I'm still catching up to the news, but getting the new kind of like project lead up to snuff on what they were doing and where they were going when it came to this game. It is, to me, it's a little peculiar that he's gone, that he resigned from this, before the game came out. To me, it's pointing to something that maybe Xbox wants a certain something from this game that he might not agree with, or something like that. But I know he didn't leave on, like, I guess you could say, like, the worst terms. But to me, this is a little bit of like, what is going on over at 343? What is going on with this game now? And you guys know, I am a huge Halo fan. All right, but I with the turnover from the developers, throughout this project, with them building a new engine and all that good stuff, there's so much that has gone on around the Halo Infinite title. You know what? I'm gonna go to the Angry Otter himself here. Dark, what do you think about the news? Halo Infinite's getting a new lead. Again, I am catching up to this. I do know that the new lead on the project has been trained by Lee himself for a while, trying to get him caught up to what is going on and all that good stuff. But dude, is this peculiar to you? Does this raise any alarms in kind of like your head for the development of this game? What do you think's going on, man? What the hell's going on at 343 right now, bro?
Well, a former panel member would say this is just another Tuesday, but
oh no,
I don't think this is that case.
Real quick. Shout out to Black Eyed Dog. He did say that Staten has been there for a while now. Yeah, Staten has. I'm not sure if he was supposed to take over as the lead, or if he was supposed to kind of be what do you call that guy that like just kind of helps out on the side? Yeah,
special project.
Okay, special project or something like that. I didn't think he was supposed to take over as the lead. So Staten did replace him, from what I'm seeing from Lone Star. Dark, how does that make you feel? Because Staten, he was on the original Halo games and stuff like that. Like, what do you think about this going forward, man?
I think they got rid of the lead because he just didn't. He wasn't giving them what they wanted, and they want to go more back to the old style of Halo, which everybody adores and everybody loves. So, like, I mean, I would love to see an evolution in Halo, but I think 343 definitely needs to make a Halo game that, both balances the storyline, but also balances the multiplayer as well. So I think this game really needs to be something special. And from what we've seen at for the reveal of it, it looked okay. It looked good. There was parts of it that I was like, oh, okay. There's definitely some new things, new additions to the game that kept me like glued to it. But I think there are definitely a lot of things that could have been improved upon, and they just haven't been improved upon. So I think somebody just said, hey, we need somebody who has experience with the Halo, and it seems like Staten, he's been there since since the beginning of Halo. So
Yeah, well,
like
real quick now. First off, I want to give a shout out to my brother Mooch. I see you in the chat, brother. It is good to see you in the chat. You said it's
what
good
up,
to have me
Mooch?
back. Yo, what is going on? Christopher Hart finally realized that we were live, and he has joined us as well. What is up, Chris? It is good to see you, bro. I am. I will say, I am in that camp where I was willing for 343 to go in the direction that they wanted to go with, when it came to
Mhm.
Halo 4, Halo 5, moving forward. So
Mhm.
for me personally, I'm not a big fan of Staten or Staten. I'm not a big fan of him taking over at that position. I actually like Chris Lee. I think he's a cool guy. Like if you ever watch any of his interviews and stuff, he seems like a very genuine person, and I was really
I mean,
I liked him, man.
yeah, I understand that, but I think like for me, it's like there's a telling sign that there's a reason as to why either he left or somebody or they got rid of him. Like
Mm.
I think he actually just left, but
He
there's a
resigned,
telling
but there
sign
was
that
there was there was
yeah,
kind of like
there's
undertones that he was going to be fired though for some reason.
okay, well then yeah, there's definitely something that went wrong with the game
Mm-hmm.
that 343 didn't like, and they said, hey, we got to get somebody else in here, and who knows what they're doing, and kind of bring Halo back to glory. Because I mean, Halo 5 was good, but it's really where Halo I feel like shines isn't just the multiplayer, but it's also the single player aspect of it too. So I think they really wanted to focus on getting both of those parts of the game to their best potential. So it's just it's like it doesn't matter that he left. No, not really. I think honestly, 343 and Microsoft, they kind of know what they got to do to make this game something special, because they really do have to make this game special. It can't be another Halo 5 you know type of game. It can't be Halo 4 with its multiplayer. It's got to be definitely something that takes those two games and combines them together and makes something really really good for the fans, and for even newcomers too.
All right, I got you, man. It seems like you got a complete thought right there. I will say, when it comes down to it, I don't think necessarily bringing somebody from the original 3 Halos and having them kind of come in and take over is gonna put like the Halo 4 and Halo 5 single player multiplayer experience together into something grand. I think it's kind of going backwards in my opinion. And again, I'm one of those kind of like new era Halo guys. I
Yeah, but
like.
don't you think that you kind of have to go backwards sometimes in order to move forward?
Yeah, I think they were doing that with the exploration part when it came to the campaign. I was digging
Mhm.
that, but like I don't want them to go too far back. And I know like
And I don't think they will, to be honest.
I'm a little more skeptical now. I will say that. Uh, I mean we're at the end of the day we're gonna have to wait and see. We got
At the end of the day,
at the end of the day. But yeah, no,
I started that, by the way.
I
Just
want
saying.
I want to get Pred in here too. So that was funny that I was going to call on him next. When it came to this, Pred, what do you think about this change in lead for the Halo Infinite project, we've already seen, you know, other changes when it comes to the developers. You know, we got Staten coming in now, and from what I'm seeing in the chat,
Every time you say Satan, I always think Satan.
oh man,
And creepy for that one.
what if I said Sod? Yeah,
Sod.
yeah. What would you get from that?
I guess that would work.
Okay.
I'd get Rod.
Oh wow. Don't say that in front of Predator, man. I'm just letting you know right now.
He's here. He heard me.
Yeah, I know. And I'm pretty sure his brain was working like, nah, I can't do that to him, man. I can't do that to him right now. But, you know, again, me, you know, bringing somebody in from the original 3, I don't know. Yo, Pred, what do you think about this, man? What are your thoughts on this? Is this a good idea? Do you think this is something to be concerned about when it comes to this game, like overall, bro?
I don't care. I just want the game to be good. Like again, I'm not into the lore like you guys are. I'll read something real quick that I just was scrolling through Twitter and I saw right in the beginning. And this comes from Seasoned Gaming. I don't know who this is. I just saw it on Twitter. And it says, there's been a few reports about Chris Lee, previously the head development on Halo Infinite, leaving 343 Industries. As is typical with these situations, we want to be sure we understood the situation before reporting on it. It seems the reports of his departure were inaccurate. In fact, he still remains at 343 in another capacity, but will no longer be working on Halo Infinite. So he's still there. But I'll say this.
Yeah, but that's even more of a red flag than if he left.
Yeah, maybe he's working on another game at 343. But I'll say this. I don't know who these people are. I don't care who they are. Like all these developers coming and going from other studios, jumping into Halo Infinite. They got like a whirlwind of motherfuckers, a dream team of people working for them right now. Just under all the studios under Microsoft, of all the hirings they did. I don't care. I just want the game. And I think they should have just released it as it is, and they could have tweaked it later. But like this was their biggest launch title for the new generation, and they fucked it up. So, who they put in that place right now? Only thing that reads to me is like you were saying, there's a problem there with something. Mm-hmm. What that something is, we don't know. Maybe it's a story. Maybe like the way the game looks, that's fixable. Right, like you can tweak that. You can make adjustments to that and change the armor because that's what everybody's complaining about. Like the way the game looks, going back to an old style. Maybe trying to. I personally would have liked for them to kind of go forward with it with something new. We have no idea what was going on in that story. Maybe his armor is fucked up the way it is now, and he gets new armor later on in the story. We don't know that because we never got the game. Right, we have no clue. But for the community as a whole to complain about the way the game looked and then want them to delay it, and they delay it and they start making changes based on what the community wanted, the community can't complain because that's what you asked for. Well, you didn't ask for the game. You asked for them to change
Hey, Bot, just so you know, my avatar has been up this whole time, so I don't know if it's like frozen there. Yeah.
Mooch hears me talking because he just told me to preach. So I mean, they hear me. It's not changing.
They hear him, and you know it's funny on the Hangout it switched over, so maybe it's just
It's YouTube. I don't know, but I mean, again, it doesn't matter who's in charge of the game at this point. It's the matter because how much of the game do you think is done?
I think it was fully done to the end, and then they had to go back to the drawing board with some graphic type situations going on. You know what I'm saying?
So to me, that just says okay, the story's done, the game's done. Right now, they're just fixing graphics. So like, I would say that I don't know what this other guy, the first guy, what his role was as far as that aspect of it comes and goes. But again, I don't care.
If Mooch was on here, he would say his role. He was the guy taking the pictures at the lunches, at the lunches and stuff.
But I mean, let's be honest. Like at this point, we just want the game. Like, I'll go to this. Okay, y'all know one of my favorite franchises, Ghost Recon, right? When Grau came out, Advanced Warfighter, I hated that game. I hated the way it looked. I hated the way they played. But once I played it, I loved it. It was one of my favorite Ghost Recons ever. And so, like, you can't base your opinion of a game and how it plays and just off the way it looks when you see you see it at E3. Like, we have no idea what that game was going to be. we just judged it based off of Craig. Right? So like, and we went from there.
Craig
so,
is
like,
awesome, by the way.
but like we have no idea, and we chastised that game for what it was and for what they showed us, and we might not have liked that, but we never got a full understanding of what it was. And so because we all complained collectively, I'll say we all, y'all complained collectively about the way it looked, they decided, hey, we're gonna take this shit back and start over. And so that's gonna take time. So that's gonna take some changes, and that's gonna take some people to work on the game, which is going to be like, I thought the game might have come out in March. Now I'm thinking, okay, yeah, they're doing all this shit. Yeah, we ain't getting this shit till fucking holiday 2021 right now. So,
and that's what I originally said that, bro. So like,
yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me if they do it because of the anniversary of Halo or whatever. I think it was like, is that the 20-year anniversary of Halo? This November coming up in 2021?
I don't know.
I don't
Honestly,
know.
I don't know.
I know it's an anniversary. I remember seeing that somewhere. But if that's the case, then so be it. I mean, like, to me, I thought that they fucked up what they had, and deciding to go back on what we saw and then deciding to change it because I think like with the launch of a new console, you need a game like that to come out, and I'm gonna knock them for that until.
Yeah, Halo Combat Evolved came out November 15, 2001.
Yeah, so 2021 would be, so that'd be their anniversary, like 20th anniversary. Like, I mean, I look at like what's all going on right now, like with this gaming, like, got a new graphics card, we got new Xbox, new PlayStation. This is something that they needed at launch, and we're not going to get it. I'm not going to say because of some whiny ass fucking fanboys. I'm just going to say that this weren't ready for it. And there were already talks about like, them releasing maybe the multiplayer first and maybe then not having ray tracing the game in the very beginning. So I don't think the game was as ready as they wanted to be. And it's not just what we saw at E3. Yeah, I think they got some more work to do on the game. So delay it. I mean, like we just talked about Cyberpunk getting delayed. We're okay with that. If we're going to complain about Halo getting delayed after what everyone saw at the E3-ish event that we had this summer, and we're asking them to delay it, then, we just have to deal with it at this point. So making changes like this, that's what happens when you ask for things. They're going to have to make some changes in who's there and what they're doing. So.
And as far as I'm concerned, again, kind of like the new era, liking the new era of Halo when it comes to the look, when it comes to what they were doing in terms of the story. And yes, I've gone on record, Halo 5's campaign definitely was not the greatest. The multiplayer was absolute fire. I consider the multiplayer pretty much the best in the Halo series, and I get criticized for that whenever I put it out there. So, but
I'll say this: I wouldn't be surprised, like going forward, if they just decide to scrap the Xbox One X version of it. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and I think that delaying it until 2021 holiday kind of brings it in that window where they don't have to support the One X. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's part of the reasoning. And when I said that, it's not gonna, it'll be holiday 2021 before that game comes out. But shout out to my brother 108 Dragons TV hitting up that super chat. Thank you, bro. He said, "What's good, panel? Haven't been in here for a long ass time. What's good, peeps? Let's get these topics popping." Brother, we do, man. We're in the thick of it right now. We're talking about our brother Chris Lee resigning as the lead for the Halo Infinite project, man. Pred just went in, and Pred, I appreciate that, as usual. Great opinions there. We do got to get to our brother Crispy. I saved him last again this time, but for no particular reason, by the way. Crispy, what do you think about this? Like, it does, it gets me to look at this whole situation more. Because first off, I did like Chris Lee. I thought he was a good guy, all that good stuff. They within development time, they just recently talked about delaying the game. Within development times, it's still, that was still a more recent announcement and stuff. So, like, I do think it's awkward. I think it's something to kind of pay attention to. I think there might be something going on in the background. And me personally, I'm not in the camp of, oh yeah, let's put somebody that was on the original 3 Halos. And shout out, there was somebody in the chat as well. Hold on, let me just see real quick. I think it was Sparhawk. Sparhawk in the chat said that Staten basically wrote Halo 4, and I'm not too sure on that. So, Sparhawk, if you have any information on that, you can send it to me over on Twitter at xbot448. Just send me a DM with some of that information, so this way I know, because I didn't hear anything about him writing that. So, what happened?
You won't check it. I know
will.
you do.
I will.
Check it. No, you won't.
No, I will.
You never do.
I will. I just don't check yours. But Crispy, what do you think about this news, man? Is this something to be concerned about, or what are your thoughts, bro?
Joe Staten was actually the lead writer of most of Halo 4, and then he abruptly left. Don't know why, but
so this is normal.
I mean,
He's like, this is normal
well,
for Halo.
Well, then. I mean, I was one of the few people standing on my square as a gearhead, talking about how Rod Ferguson left, and I was happy about it. So, and this was actually on this podcast, by the way. I mean, what was it, 8 months ago, something like that? I don't remember, but yeah, you have to understand that Halo has won a different route than the 3 pillars: Gears, Forza, Halo. Everybody brings it up, but they're beloved franchises within the Xbox community. You have to understand that. So Gears went and said, okay, we got the IP now. We're going to create Gears of War Ultimate Edition. And Rod is going to teach all these people, because they hired him, how to make a Gears game. And that's what they did. Now, yes, Gears 5 is not perfect. But I'll tell you right now, after the blood, sweat, and tears they put into the game, and how Rod led them at a certain period of time until he started tweeting Mantinis all the damn time, and talking about Blizzard more than anybody else. Yeah, well, guess what? Time to go. You're tired of the franchise after, God, what? He was original on the original Gears of War. So, that's what, 06, 07, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So he was done. Like,
Yo, Black Eyed Dog said Bonnie Ross should go next. Oh, damn.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you real quick, okay? You came out with Halo 4 before you came out with Halo Master Chief Collection. That's pretty stupid. I'm sorry. You have to build your team, okay? And unfortunately, 343 never really had anybody that truly worked on the game there, except when Halo 4 started with Joe Staten. And everybody loves that campaign. So I had never heard anybody completely complain about the visuals of Halo 4 or Halo 5. All I hear them say is, why can't you combine the campaign and the multiplayer all the time? Now, maybe I'm not in the Halo community like you, Bot, but at the end of the day, the visuals are there, okay? I've at least played the multiplayer on Halo 5, and I played some of the campaign on Halo 4. And
Halo 5, I will say graphically, Halo 5 looked really good when it first came out. I think Halo 5 did go the Halo 3 route, though, because Halo 3 looked really good when it came out as well. It did not age well, though.
You're right. And it did not age well.
I think Halo 5 went that same route. It didn't really age well, bro.
That's the one I beat. I beat when there was no achievements, by the way. Like, basically, it was the new thing, or I was playing at my buddy's house on couch co-op. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it. So it was like, well, I'm gonna make up something and play with you. Like, that's what I did. I beat that game and I loved it, but I agree with you. Like, I never was really intrigued to go back to it. And that's the whole problem. Like, I feel like they steered away so far because they didn't bring at least some people back in. I mean, Microsoft got the money. We all know that. They just bought, ZeniMax. You know what I mean? Like, they got the money. You can pay people. They're building this crazy studio with the initiative. Why aren't you investing? Like, the only reason why Slipspace is, you got to make it old school. You should have used just use Unreal.
It's just me. It's just fading in and out a little bit here.
Yeah, he's breaking up. You're right.
Am I breaking up?
Just a little bit, but I think you're okay now.
Okay, all right, because I'm not hearing anything from your guys' end. So, the point is that you need to bring somebody that knows Halo, but also is not trying to tarnish what it's already become. I mean, you have 2 games that came after it that don't involve Bungie. Why not embrace them in some way, shape, or form? At least the visuals. And when we saw Halo Infinite, yeah, dude, loved the gameplay, but the visuals were not there. And you know what? We can all blame it on anything else, but you released it. Blame it on the rain. There you go. Blame it on blame it on the rain that comes from people's mouths. There you go.
Wow.
But it's the whole point. Like, dude, you could love the gameplay, and the gameplay could be fine, but maybe he walked in and said, "Man, this story is kind of messed up right now." You know what I mean? You're just trying to cater to this multiplayer centric, free to play bullshit, and this is not what Halo fans want. And you know what? They're probably going to listen to him now because he's really never done wrong as far as what his thought process is. And for him to take over for Chris Lee is the only thing I say. Delay it longer if you need to. But make the announcement sooner than later. Say, hey, you know what? We're going to be into 2022. And that's it.
They can't delay it because then I'd be wrong with my prediction, Crispy. You need to realize that you're on my channel and you can't say stuff like that goes against my prediction, okay?
Shame on you because you might be wrong. And I'm not bringing up, I'm just saying
you
facts.
tell him, Crispy.
I'm just saying facts, dude. Like, right now you got traction from other of the 3 pillars. That I mean, Forza, we don't know when that's coming out, really. They said 2021, right? But you don't know when it's coming out. We're in a different world right now, and Halo is not what most Halo fans want it to be, or they wouldn't be doing all this. And that's the way it goes. Like, they're listening to people. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, I got you, bro. I got you. And when it comes down to it, I did have another quick topic when it came to Halo, but I'm gonna skip that because we're gonna keep on trucking into newer, fresher topics. But I will say, for anybody who's been following the whole coding situation, armor coding, in other words, kind of like different colors, the way that they do in Destiny with getting different shaders and stuff to make your armor different colors. Guys, calm the frig down, man. It's really not that big of a deal. The color customization in the older Halos was very kind of like sparse, and if they're doing something to add more detail, and of course some of them are going to come in terms of microtransactions, but they also said that there are going to be a lot that you just earn in-game or whatnot. I would say calm down until you get all the details from it, and they need to share those details. And then once they share those, if it seems like it's really bad, then you go with your outcry for them to change some things. Because when it comes down, it's just color on armor. And they can definitely go in and change parameters on how those are distributed. You can ask Bungie about that. They have done it many, many times when it came to the armor shaders and stuff for Destiny as well. They have had to change so many things on how those were implemented. So just calm down, guys. Like, the sky isn't falling at every single piece of Halo news. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. But let's get into unboxings, guys, because I've seen it all over YouTube. Shout out to my brother Randall Softserve, a.k.a. Randall Thor. I believe he got he got sent to him an Xbox Series X. I watched his unboxing video. But it seems that the gaming media and YouTubers out there, they have gotten their Series X's, they have gotten their PS5s, and they have been able to at least unbox them. All right, so I'm gonna share my thoughts when it comes to the Series X. I do like the presentation that they have when you open the box, how it's like laid on its side and it's got like that graphic going over the middle and how it's wrapped and stuff like that. I really like the presentation. It doesn't mean that much in terms of the console, but like to see them, place it out well for when you open the box and everything, that it looks really, really cool. I do like that in comparison to the PS5. But again, in terms of presentation, when you open the box, it's not going to mean anything 5 minutes after you take the consoles out of the box. But, you know what? Let's go with Crispy because he went last these couple times here. I'm going to let him go first this time. Dude, I'm pretty sure you've seen the unboxings. And again, shout out to the people in the community who did get Series X's to unbox and stuff. I did shout out Rand because Rand, the Xbox 2 podcast next to, Next podcast and the Series X podcast, the Xbox 2 podcast is one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, when I'm like cooking dinner and stuff like that. So, shout out to Rand and Jez. But Crispy, what did you get anything from these unboxings for these systems? Like, let us know what you thought about, the Series X and the unboxings that they have shown. Let us know what you think about the PS5. And was there anything new? Was there anything that surprised you between these unboxings? Like, anything you didn't know that is like, oh wow, when it came to these things? Because I didn't get too much of that. Did you?
I actually did.
Okay.
PlayStation did basically your typical box. I mean, it's clearly, designed differently and is much taller than anything else.
Oh, Rand, I didn't even know you were in here, bro. Yo, shout out to you, brother.
But, the beauty of what Xbox did is they said, okay, let's make it accessible to every single human being on this planet. And all you got to do is lift the darn thing up. And that's what I see. So, yes, it's a different, totally different design. It's a little bit smaller technically in its cubic inches, but at the same time, people are used to what PlayStation is giving you. I don't hate either one. All I could say is how much easier is it going to be to open up that box on the Series X and pick it up. And it's that easy. Like you just pick it up, you place it down, and then you start, pulling the box apart. You could have one hand, and I'm sure you could use your arm to lift that console up and do that. So I think they're just they use their mentality of saying, okay, we want everything to be accessible to as many people as possible. Like, yes, I'm sure there's somebody that cannot do it. I understand that, but with the adaptive controller and everything else, like they're embracing the fact that they want as many gamers to game as possible, no matter what. And if you want this great, powerful console, you get to have it, and you also get an experience that you've never had, because usually it's what I see from PlayStation, what they showed. You got to like kind of shimmy it out and, it's just like, yeah, come on, you can do it. Instead, it's just like Xbox, like, lay it down and you can lift it up. They thought about these things. It's really it's stupid to think about, but for some people, I'm telling you, this is a big deal for them, because it's like, we've never seen this. I've never seen that. I've never seen like the way that the whole box like opens up and how it's placed in the
Dude,
in
again,
the box.
The presentation is really like, I can see like stores having just the box kind of like opened up. The presentation for the Series X, like they did a really good job on it. And I did go to school for like for graphic design and stuff. So when you see something that's well placed, put together, it's pleasing to the eye, even though again it's not going to mean anything 5 minutes after the person who bought this thing opened it. It's not going to mean anything.
Well, no, and
after
I
that,
completely understand that. Like, that's not the point, though. Like, you go and open up a loot box or something like you play a lot of games like that where you open up a loot box, right? You know what I'm saying? And you open it up and it's like,
Overwatch.
oh, you know what I mean? Like
Overwatch has the best animation for their boxes.
It gives you like this enamored feeling, and I almost that's what I feel like they did, but instead it's this incredible console right at your fingertips, and like for somebody like me who's you know has no problem as nothing like that, I can just lift that thing up and pull it out. And this is the first time in the history I've ever seen with gaming that they completely changed the way they box something. And that's all for accessibility, in my opinion.
Nice. All right, I got you, man. Did you see any of the unboxings of the PlayStation 5?
All I saw is what I've seen
Guys,
for my entire life.
you gotta go to Twitter at Crispy Bomb and be like, all I saw is what I seen, and that's it. that's what you. Dude,
I mean, they did
you
it
just
better.
John
like,
Madden that thing, man. You John
well,
Madden.
I'll tell you right now. The only thing I like about that is there's no styrofoam. For the love of God, I hate the sound of styrofoam when you pull it out. It drives me nuts. Like it really does. That's about it. Like that's
I
that's
love
the
you,
other
brother.
thing.
That was
you know,
amazing.
It was like
Say that again, slower.
Styrofoam.
Hit the way it sounds when it when you pull it out.
Because of the way it sounds when I pull it out.
Again, my disclaimer on this as well, man. I'm just saying, yeah.
I had to feed into Pred. I'm sorry. Like I love Pred. Like me and him have argued. He's told me to shut the fuck up many times, but at the end of the day, like we're on the same team. Like that's the way it goes.
Nice. Well, unless you have anything else, I will move over to the Angry Otter himself. Anything else you want to put in there, Crispy, before we switch to this guy?
No, I want to hear the Angry Otter. He's a PlayStation fan, so let's hear it.
Well, no, he is a fan of gaming and of life. Okay, and
he prefers PlayStation
and of mullets as well. He is a big fan of mullets.
Definitely a firm advocate for mullets.
Yes. So, yo, Dark. What do you think about like the unboxings? Like, you know, they kind of It's funny how they kind of fell into the same time slot together, because a lot of the Sony information, a lot of the Microsoft and Xbox information, they've been coming out at different times. But these unboxings, they just kind of fell around that same time span. So you saw people kind of like unboxing both, and the Series S as well. That was another one where we got the unboxing. Like, did you get anything new from these? What did you think about these unboxings? I know you've pretty much seen all three of them, right?
Right. Unlike Crispy, you know, where I watched all of them. I've been watching unboxings. Yeah, I've been watching unboxings all week. I've been watching different people unbox it. You know, different people who are excited for it. I think I think I watched Rand's video on it. I also watched a couple other ones. Actually, even watched I even watched people unbox controllers and things like that. So that was cool. I just, you know, I like to see that Crispy is falling for the smoke and mirrors that Microsoft is doing, you know, with the boxing of the Xbox Series X and Series S. You know,
Sounds like he almost wanted PS5 to do that.
Honestly, you know, that's the thing. Like the boxes, you know, that never really ever matters.
No.
I mean, yeah, granted, you know, who did it cleaner? Xbox. I mean, like I'm gonna say, Xbox did it cleaner, but honestly, it really comes down to what you prefer and what you want to play and things like that, and that's all that really matters. But
So are you saying
I
that I
think,
was right? Because we were talking about boxing. I'm just saying.
yeah, I mean, you are right. I'm just messing with you. Um, but I think the the PlayStation, like I watched many videos of it. It looks good, Like, I mean, they pull it out and they're like, it's big. I mean, it is definitely a big boy.
Say that again.
It's
Why you
Wow,
gotta pull it out?
I
it's
didn't realize
definitely
how
a
much.
big boy.
I didn't realize how much predator fuel will come out of this topic, man. I'm just saying.
A lot of predator, you know, euphemisms will come out of this whole thing.
But there's no
Um,
styrofoam. There you go.
there's definitely no styrofoam, which is good.
On either, so I like it.
Yeah, on either one. I think I think PlayStation, the way that they had it set up is good enough. I mean, I honestly, I think they just went cheap on the box. I mean, you notice that the box is just like almost kind of like an Apple product in a way, where it's just kind of like simple,
Simple.
no pictures of games or anything like that. Has nothing, nothing to do with really kind of gaming in a way. It just kind of they're just kind of letting you know really the games just speak for themselves. um Xbox, theirs was more like a little bit more flashy. They kind of had a little bit more of a presentation to it. It looked good, but it wasn't like something that I was all like, when I get an Xbox Series X or a Series S, which I don't know if I'm going to get one at this point. I might wait until there's a bundle or something along the lines of that, or a game that I really want to play on it. Um, it's just when I saw it, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's flashy and stuff like that, but I mean, I hate to say it, but and I know you guys are gonna give me shit about it, but
Oh.
really, there's no games right now that are coming out for the Xbox Series X that I personally want to play.
Medium?
Um, I mean, I want to see what it's like. I don't know. I honestly don't know if that game's gonna be good though,
See,
because
and
it's
I
Bloober.
thought that would
I
be
mean, I love,
right
I
up
love
your
how we're
alley, man.
talking. I love how we're talking
But
about boxing, and it goes to the games. Like,
But
come on.
that the medium's made by Blooper, so it's like it's very hit or miss. So it's like you don't know if that game's gonna be good or if it's gonna be bad.
Falconeer.
That's Falconeer. No, you know me, dude. I ain't gonna play that fucking shit. I
I
ain't even gonna play Bug Snacks when it comes to fucking PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, you are.
Let alone
Stop bullshit.
play the
He's
shit
not,
out
he's
of
not,
that.
he's not taking up that hard drive space. Like, come on.
Hell no, not for Bug Snacks, not for freaking Bug
Oh,
Snacks.
now I wish
I
King
mean, I
Egg
might
was here
do it.
to defend Bug Snacks, man.
I might do it
swear.
for Destruction All Stars. I might do it for that.
I got delayed, didn't it?
Yeah, that got delayed until February, but
February.
they're giving you 2 months of it for
Man,
for
that's
free.
another launch title. What's going on here? No. It's
Dude,
the
Dude, there's been
launch window.
delays all over.
there's
delays
just
all over the
honestly,
place.
I think a lot of it has to do with COVID. I think a lot of it just has to do with, I think there's just a lot of factors with the delays there. But going back to the boxing, the boxes, I think PlayStation has more of an of a professional look to them, but Xbox definitely has a more of a cleaner look.
He's
Like
never. You've never had a loot crate, I don't think. When loot crate,
I've gotten loot crates.
okay,
I
so
never liked that damn loot crate because you never get shit in it. It's like the Xbox, you're not gonna get shit with it. So,
what are you gonna get with the PlayStation right now?
you're gonna get Demon Souls. You're gonna get
An old game.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Optimized for the
an old game
PS5.
with DLC. There you go.
You're gonna get you're gonna
Wow.
get Bug Snacks.
Have you guys done the
you really just
Grumpier
brought up
Old Gamers podcast yet? Like Crispy and
We
Dark?
should. We should grump your old gamers.
Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. Like, and it's just you guys bickering at each other for like an hour and a half.
Me and Chris just bickering back and forth. Oh,
It
that'd
would be great. It'd be great. It'd be a hit. If you want, I'll host it on my channel. Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm down.
We're not gonna
I'm
give you no
definitely down.
freaking. We're not gonna give you no views there,
Dude, I
freaking
gotta
bot.
make
Come
up
on
for
now.
3 weeks, man. Come
That
on.
is true. Yeah, that is true. You do have to make up for 3
Right
weeks.
now,
but
right now, this is my only revenue, bro.
I think honestly, the when it comes down to it, the boxes don't matter.
Thank you.
The real thing that matters is what you prefer, what you like, and what you're getting out of your experiences with your consoles. That's all that matters.
Nice, man. And you know, if they did matter, I will say PlayStation. They did go very plain, very basic with theirs. Where when it comes to the Xbox, the presentation, it's like something it's kind of like when Motorola came out with the new Razr and they had their new kind of packaging that like a packaging that you never really expected, and when you open, it's like, oh wow, you know, I kind of got that feeling from like the Series X, but it doesn't really mean anything. Again,
but Series X was more flashy, and PS5 was more just simple and kind of cheap. You know,
yeah,
like
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That is absolutely true. But like Crispy said, no styrofoam, and he's happy about that. So, let's see. Pred, what do you got to say about these unboxings, man? Was there anything that was new to you? Was there anything to talk about in your opinion when it came to these, man?
Not really. I mean, 99.9% of the time after I take that shit out the box, it's in the fucking trash can. So, like, I mean, the only time I've ever saved a box is if I like the Cyberpunk edition that I have, I saved the box for that. I remember when I got the Jedi Fallen Order Xbox Series X for my daughter. What it was the normal box, and it had a sleeve over it.
Oh yeah.
You know? So I mean, like, that's all they did was change it and put a sleeve over it. But like, to me, like, I mean, I will say that it looked a little bit like for a $500 console. I want a box that screams, I spent $500 on this. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I got that. You're gonna get that out of the Series X. At the end of the day, it's not gonna matter. I thought that the PlayStation unboxing was super cheap to me, but I just bought a fucking $800 graphics card, and it was kind of like the same thing. It was a box with some plastic inside it, and you open the plastic, and there's the card. So there was nothing really in it. And in some cases, like it's maybe it's for shipping, maybe it's to save cost on some things. I mean, who cares after you open that thing? When little Timmy and little fucking you little badass kids are opening these boxes on Christmas,
baby's kids,
they're not gonna care about the box, you know, what it looks like and how cool it looks. It's like, I will say, I just think the Xbox did it a lot better, but I mean, who cares? I mean, who cares? It's a box.
That's an empty calorie kind of like victory right there. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I will say, all right, so wasn't there something missing wasn't there like a cable missing, like the charge cable or something missing out of the PlayStation?
No, there wasn't anything missing. I think it was just like people were
like the one you plug the USB plug or whatever you plug in. Like, I missed the day.
No.
Like, I will say, like, just the launch in general, like them launching with a game, PlayStation, like Astro Bot. Even though I probably never play that. Well, I played if I got the PlayStation, I'd fuck with it. But like the fact that came with it, like that's something I miss with launches. Like, you don't get that game anymore. Like we used to get back in the 90s. That's cool. I like that. Like they gave you something to play. If you couldn't afford a game because you spent $500 on the fucking console, you got a game.
It sounds like Pred played Hexic like 100 times. So.
Oh, I really like Hexic actually. I like those puzzle games.
Wasn't that on? What was that? That was on the 360.
360. It's a packing game.
Yeah. I mean, I miss those days. You get like a game like that. Remember, keep in mind, like back in the 90s, you not only would you get the console, you get a game, sometimes two, and you get two controllers. And they slowly pulled shit out of the box. Like you get one controller, you don't even get a head, like an earbud or something anymore. You don't get that shit anymore. I mean, like I miss those
Well,
days.
I mean, Sega Saturn had like a Virtual Fighter packed in for most of it.
Back then, yes. Now, when's the last time you got a game with a console?
It's true. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Even though Astrobot is a kind of a game that's going to show like
Well,
all the
it's a
features
game.
of the
It's a game, but it's
of
a
the
game that
yeah, it's a
caters to
game.
the
Yeah.
dual sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got to
So,
blow in the controller, bro. There you go.
honestly, from what I've heard from Skill Up, which I watched his video, he says there's only really one controller that's next
Well,
generation.
yeah, no,
and that's
guys,
the
let's
PS5
actually
controller.
let's actually get into that because people now they have their hands on the DualSense controller. They're talking about like the haptic feedback on the triggers. They're talking about the speaker in it, the touchpad. They're talking about the ability to blow into the controller. They're talking about that game. Astrobots. Was it Playground or whatnot? The game that's back.
Astrobot Playroom.
Yeah,
Playroom.
Playroom.
Yeah. So people are talking. People are saying like this is really a next
Astro's
gen
Playroom.
controller, and
Mhm.
I'm just gonna give my thoughts in on this real quick. Now I'm gonna toss it to you guys, and then we're gonna talk about the Series S after that. Okay. But when it comes to this controller, I've heard people talking about it. One thing I'm that I didn't hear about is kind of like the battery life, because there is a lot of features on this controller, and they're using it in a lot of different ways with the haptic feedback, having the triggers kind of like tighten when they're supposed, like when stuff gets crucial. Of course, the ability to blow into the controller, the motion controls as well, all that good stuff packed into it with an internal battery. I do think that the features are cool. The only thing I'm not seeing, and Dark, I'm gonna go with you on this one, is I'm not seeing anybody talk about the battery life, and that's what really concerns me. Because when I had a PS4, and I was using the DualShock, right? There was a couple things about the DualShock. First of all, the battery life was absolutely abysmal when it came to that controller, and then secondly was kind of like the rubber on the thumbsticks were literally falling off. Like I didn't have that with my Xbox controller, so like those were my two main things. Now, what do you think about the DualSense with all of its features and stuff? And then have you heard anything about the battery life when it comes to this controller, man?
Well, I'm gonna start off with the features of the controller, and then I'll get into the battery. The features, I think they're cool. I think I don't know about blowing into your controller though. That's a little weird to me. I don't know. I don't see a lot
Pred
of
is saying to himself right now, Dark, you like it.
On his
you
knees.
know,
There you go.
I just don't think it's. Oh Jesus! Somebody fucking shat their
That's
pants.
my drawer. That's my desk drawer. I was trying to pull up my.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Brad.
This podcast has hit an all-time low. Yeah.
But I think I don't know how many games are really going to use a lot of these features that are in this controller. I mean, that's the big question, right? I mean, are a lot of these games going to use the features of this controller? I mean, I could see like games probably like Call of Duty and first person shooter games using those haptic triggers very, very much, a lot. So I could see that, but blowing into your controller, I could really only see maybe like Astrobot doing that, or like a platformer game doing that, just to kind of be different. I can't really see something like Assassin's Creed or Cyberpunk, or even like some of the exclusive games.
It would be
to
mostly
PlayStation
first party that would be using it to its fullest extent. Let's be real, because
right.
When it comes to third, there will be some games that will have added features though. We've seen it with the Switch and other throughout history with multiplats with consoles that had different features, but I think we're going to depend, at least in the beginning of the generation, it's going to be first party to really go in and utilize every single one of those features, man.
Well, that's the thing. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, a lot of people are saying that the controller is really nice. Like they're saying it's better than the DualShock 4. It's almost kind of like a mixture of the DualShock 4 and an Xbox One X controller.
Nice.
So that's a good, that's a good thing because I still think that the Xbox One controller and well, I even like the 360 controller are probably still one of the best controllers that you can get right now. Like those controllers are just top of the line right there. So to see that PlayStation kind of went in that direction of making their controller a little bit more acceptable to um, everyone is a lot better. Um, I mean, I like the way that the controller looks. I like the way that I can't wait to get into my hand. Apparently, the console isn't even white, and apparently the controller and all the accessories aren't even white. It's actually gray. Like it's actually like a almost like the old PlayStation gray almost in a way,
Mhm.
but a little bit lighter. So that kind of says, oh, okay, well, it's still probably going to get dirty though. I mean, you're still going to have to probably clean it more often than you would a
All the little
DualShock 4 or
squares,
something like that.
circles, and triangles, man. You're gonna get like little. There's gonna be little. You're gonna see them
Yeah.
more after a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some gunk on some of those controllers, out there. Um, I think battery life though. They have stated in the past that it will last longer, but that's the thing. Is it an hour longer, or is it like a few minutes longer, or if is it like a couple hours longer, or what? They haven't said, and no one knows.
Mm.
So it's kind of it would be up to us to really test how long we can play games without charging the controller. I mean, granted, thank God they're using USB-C now for controllers
So
on
that's a
both
faster
Xbox
charge.
and PlayStation. Yep, that's a faster charge, so that's a good thing. It's just time will tell if the controller will last longer with
And
its battery life.
and brother, and that's my only thing about this. Like I said, the new features sound
Hmm.
really cool and stuff like that. And I know
Yeah.
people are gonna get mad at me for raising this question, but it was a question when it came to the DualShock on the PS4 as well.
Hmm.
And I saw people try to say, oh, it's
Oh
not
yeah, it's
really.
a question for me
Yeah,
too
that
with the
that is
DualShock
one of the
4.
biggest questions, because they're packing this with a bunch of new features. So,
Yeah.
and you haven't seen anybody talk about anything when it came to the battery life that they have it hands on. They haven't. Nobody's really
No.
said.
Well, I mean, no one has except for the more bigger influencers have the console and are able to play on it. But of course, the embargo's up, so no one can talk about it.
So
I
they
think next
lit.
week. I think next week for both consoles. I think it's next week where they're going to be able to talk about them. Next week sometime.
Hmm,
I'm not sure. That's what I've been hearing. I'm not positive on that one, but that's what I heard.
hmm.
Sometime next week, which would make sense because I mean, what the week after both of these consoles come out, so it would make sense for them to do it sometime next week.
Okay.
Um, I think in the long run we'll see what if these games use the features that are implemented in the DualSense controller.
I think like what was it, Sackboy's Adventure, stuff like that. I think
Yeah,
that get those kind
that'll
of like
use it.
lighter games will
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think even like with the Xbox controller, I think even with normal batteries in it, it lasts a little bit longer too because it's gonna last a little bit longer than the Xbox One controller. Um, just I think they've added a little bit more of a power saving, I guess, to it.
Dog
So
is like, fuck that shit.
shut that damn dog up.
I know, right? Give him a
What
treat
about
or
you? I'll be right
something.
back.
Give him a treat or something, man.
Yeah, what
Wow.
kind
Yo,
of
the
treat?
chat's going crazy right now. Yo.
What are they? What? Oh yeah, they're going in
Chris, yo.
Well, Chris is back. I mean, Chris. Chris, you guys, one thing you guys got to realize about Chris is that he's fucking with you. So that's why that if it gets under your skin, don't let it, because it's not that big of a deal. This is just video games. This is what we like have, this is what we like to do. We like to joke around. We like to have fun. I mean, and sometimes, yeah, sometimes Chris goes a little further, or we even us, we go a little bit further in certain things. It just depends on our moods that day, but it's just all fun and games, people. Come on.
Literally fun in games. We're talking about games, but all right, yo, Dark. Anything else on the DualSense before I get into everybody else's kind of like ideas here?
Just that I'm excited for it. I can't wait to get it out of my hands and try out some of these games that are coming for the PS5.
Nice, brother. Okay, let's go to Crispy, because he told Christopher he's gonna have to cover his ears when we go to Crispy. So let's go to Crispy. Dude, I'm pretty sure you heard what people are saying about the DualSense. You already heard what I said about it. Yeah, I like the fact that it's got all these features in it. My only thing is with having that internal battery, having a PS4, before, and having to deal with the DualShock, that that internal battery was really bad in terms of kind of like longevity, and having I had to plug it in a lot to play, so I was playing wired a lot on the PS4 when I was playing. But now there's even more features on the DualSense that everybody's loving. I want to hear what you think about those features, but do you share the same concern with me in terms of battery life with this thing, or do you have anything different you want to add to it, man?
Well, there's only one controller that I have in my hand right now that has never died on me, and it has an internal battery, and it's called the Elite Series 2. So
yeah, that internal battery is wicked, dude.
I would say this, okay? At a $70 price point, $10, it's not paying for that battery, especially with all the things involved in it. There's actually a motor inside of the right trigger, by the way, people. Mm-hmm. So it actually force feedbacks you, and I guarantee you're gonna hear a lot of people that are honest, not fanboys, but honest, that have the console, that break that thing. Because if you're playing multiplayer games, you don't need none of that. All you want is hey, I fucked up the reload, or I did this and that. Well, guess what? I'm still holding that trigger because that person's still standing in front of me. And imagine somebody very strong just holding that trigger down, and that motor's just pushing you back, and it ain't moving. That thing's gonna break, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. I get what they're doing, but it's all niche products. It's almost like saying like the Kinect was something, and when Xbox One came
don't
out.
You dare talk about the Kinect, because I like the Kinect, okay?
Well, you can like the Kinect all you want, but it was trash.
Ooh,
yeah, that's one thing I will agree with Crispy on, is
Kinect
that
Rivals
fucking
was
thing
a great
is trash.
game. Kinect Rivals was a great game.
I played a lot of Kinect games at my buddy's house.
The only one I liked was
trash.
Kinect Sports.
They couldn't even it couldn't even search me when he had the Xbox One with the Kinect when it came out. He bought the whole Monty. He paid the $500, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, "Hey, are you seeing me right now?" And like, I had to sit there for 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done with this stupidity. Like, you want to blow in your controller? Go pass that to your friend. You ain't playing couch co-op. You're playing single player. They're going with the single player, bro. Like the Elite Series 2, this controller is legit, bro. Like,
yo,
yeah,
Jazzy,
some people, I think Pred had a problem with it. Yeah, well, guess what? A lot of people didn't. I still had the same one I had after all this time. And I've had 7 Elite Series 1s. 7.
What?
Yes. I had a Gears 5. I've had 2 black. I've had 2 white. And then I also have another Gears one that I sold. So Okay, 6, not 7. Sorry, but and then I have
Please
the
tell me you
Elite
didn't
Series
pay.
2.
Please tell me you didn't pay over $100 for all of those. At least,
He said,
please tell me you sent some of them
not
in.
elite.
If you're a multiplayer gamer and you
Please
use
tell me
this
you sent some of
once,
those in, though.
if you use
'Cause you
this
could.
once, no, I've
Crispy, are you talking?
I
Are you talking about
rebuilt.
elite
I
controllers, or are
rebuilt.
you talking about regular controllers?
No,
The
Elite
Elite.
controllers, because guess what? the features involved in the
All of a sudden,
DualSense
it's like
are equal.
court. Yeah, and everybody's on Crispy right now. Are you talking regular controller or elite? All elite controller? You better trade some of those in. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could have traded some of those in.
Anybody want to
those
buy
series
some? I got
ones.
3 sitting in front of me right now. I mean, come on. Like,
No one wants to buy that trash ass fucking controller.
that trash ass controller. Well, that's Elite Series 1. Elite Series 2
Yeah, the series, the 2 is probably good. I'll agree with you on that one. But the
well,
series 1, that's
but
terrible.
you're gonna have all those implemented things, especially a motor and at least the right trigger. I'm not sure about the left yet, but you at least have a motor and the right trigger, and you better tell people how much battery life you have. Playing
the right trigger of the. You talking about
games.
you talking about the DualSense?
Yes.
You have a motor. You have a motor in both triggers, dude.
Yeah.
So that's even worse then.
But
Think
so
about
does
it.
the Xbox One has a motor in the fucking triggers.
No, it
They have
doesn't.
motors in the triggers.
Yeah, they do.
Not in mine.
They,
Okay,
There's
well
no motor.
maybe you got a special one,
don't
but they
take
do
'em
have
out,
motors.
man. Yeah.
It doesn't push my finger back. Does it push?
Awkward.
Have you watched some of the videos of people using that thing? It pushes
I'm
your
using
finger back.
the PS5 DualSense controller. Yeah, I've seen it.
It pushes
yeah.
your finger back. That doesn't do that.
You don't.
Dude,
you don't think.
all I
You don't
do
think.
is switch.
You
I
don't think
switch
the
between
Xbox
3
One,
settings on
the
my
Xbox
series.
You don't think the Xbox Series X is gonna that controller has motors in the triggers?
No, because they still haven't figured that out. They only put
They have them
earbud.
in the triggers,
do.
dude. They have them there
do,
in
man.
the trigger.
Yeah.
They just don't push back like the
They don't
PS5
tense.
does.
Yeah, they don't have that tensing up
all right.
situation.
All right, you sit there with a vehicle at 8,000 RPMs the whole time because somebody that's playing a multiplayer game on PlayStation is going to sit there and hold that thing down.
Yeah,
okay?
Jazz,
and it's
exactly.
going up 8,000 RPMs and it's trying to push you back, and your hand is just stronger than what it's going to do because it's a little tiny motor inside of it. It's either going to break or it's going to drain your freaking battery. So I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying, but it's not the same thing. Rumbles and the thing literally pushing back on your finger are 2 different freaking things.
Well, yeah, I mean, I will agree with you on that. That's a different thing, but to say that the Xbox doesn't have a motor in it is wrong.
Well, okay. Well, we got past that. All right, we clarified that situation when it came down to it. No, we really did, Otter, and you have no reason to be angry right now.
Michael Myers has turned into Satan.
Oh no. But let's get Pred's thoughts in on this because there's one more topic I want to get into before I'll actually let you guys go. But Pred, what did you think about what people are saying about the DualSense, man? I already put my 2 cents in. I'm like, all those features. I'm really hoping that I dig the features. I think they're cool. As long as they developers use them or whatnot. But my only question would be the battery, because the DualShock with the PS4, the battery was absolutely horrible, man. And now this sucker's got more features. What do you think of what like people are saying about the DualSense, bro?
I'll take their word for it and say that it looks like they put a lot of work into the controller. After you see Microsoft kill it with the Series X, not Series X, but the Elite Series 1 and 2, were probably the best controllers I've ever used playing the game in my life. I think Sony did a really good job by coming out with a new controller, because I didn't like the DualShock. I always thought that it felt cheap to me.
Yeah.
The plastic, the charging sucked on it as well. It suited us probably like mine, even with the rubber on it, it started wearing off after a while. To the point where I almost bought because I was playing. I think I was playing Ghost of Tsushima using it and like it was sticking and stuff like that. And I didn't use my PlayStation nearly as much as some of these hardcore PlayStation guys do. And you know, after God of War and Ghost of Tsushima and Uncharted and stuff like that, like those I think I only played like maybe 6 games on PlayStation, but like the fact that it wore out after those 6 games of me not having nearly as much usage in it as somebody who is a hardcore PlayStation guy would have. And I was having those problems with it. Was kind of like what the fuck. But I really hope they put a lot more effort into. It looks like they put a lot more effort into their controller this time than what they did before. It looks like a decent controller. I mean, again, you won't know until you grab it. It's about to sound like a sexual innuendo.
You better watch out. Predators listening, Pred.
You grab it and put your hands on it and start using it. Like, but from the looks of it and from the reviews of people saying it's a really good controller. I don't think it's going to compare to my Series 2. That's probably the best controller I've ever used in my life. But I did have my problems with the Elite controllers as well. I went through 6. Y'all have heard my stories in the past about all the ones I've gone through before, and even this one. The little knobs under the button where you can kind of change the trigger pull on it and have the rubbers worn off of those already. They actually pulled off. So I have to send this back. But you'll notice this has been a trend with these new consoles, that not just the Xbox controller, but the Switch controllers. And I'm expecting it to happen with the PlayStation, the stick drift, the issues, and the lawsuits and stuff that happened with them. In the past, so I would expect this to happen with their controller. I mean, just because the usage that we put in these things, like we all gamers, we destroy these controllers when we play games.
I definitely I have a crack in my Series 2 controller, and I don't
know. Especially with Demon Souls coming out this fall.
Yeah, the frustration you're gonna have playing those games.
Yeah, well,
so many people are gonna break their
for the
controllers.
TV, bro.
And so like, and some of us like I use my controller on PC sometimes too. So like I'm getting like double usage out of it. So so like I would love for them to come out with their version of an Elite controller as well. Because when they eventually start pushing more towards PC and putting games on PC, I will definitely. I've already said this before. I'll definitely pick that controller up to play their games on PC. I have no problem doing that. Like, just if they go that route, I would definitely play their games on PC using that controller. And I've done it with PS Now. You know, I've done it in the past too. So
didn't somebody show that it can actually connect to playing an Xbox?
Yeah, it connects to the cloud. You can use on the cloud. Yeah. So and like, you know, there's other games you could play on PC with the controller as well. I mean, if you really wanted to. So I think they did a good job with the control. The whole blowing into it, like I think that's just one of those gimmicky things. I don't think a lot of people will use that going for like third party. I'll say it that way. Would use that. Like what other game besides blowing to a fan like they did on Astrobot? Like, can you even think of a game that would use that feature?
Probably Little Big Planet, something like that.
God of War.
No, like a third party game.
maybe.
Oh, here to reload.
maybe
they'll hear you say, "Hey, boy."
No, but check it out. Just think God of War real quick. Say you're fighting, you're getting into a. Listen, can I talk?
No, he was talking about third party though.
Yeah, no, I know, but I want to put this out. I'm gonna ignore about the third party. And can you imagine like God of War? You got this combo going and stuff, and you got a new ability where you can either breathe fire or ice, and as you're comboing out with your weapons, you just kind of real quick and you blow out, and it freezes the enemies and it keeps your like combo going and stuff like that.
I could see maybe like Assassin's Creed when you're like in your ship or whatever, you're blowing into it to make it go like the wind, you know.
Oh, this sounds so stupid. Just think about what we're saying right now. Come on.
Somebody's gonna clip this. Somebody's gonna clip this.
Honestly, I could not see third party using that feature at all. The haptic feedback I could see probably for like the first person shooter games, but there's going to be a lot of those features. I mean, yeah, granted it's great and all, but they're not going to be used,
Yeah,
for the most part.
I mean, like again, I think the controller's nice looking. I think, once you hold it and you start playing on it and seeing like the weight of it and stuff like that, you can get your feel for yourself and how good the controller is. But like going forward, just listening to what people are saying about it, obviously they never held an elite controller before, so like that
Right.
like, the second coming of Christ. It's like it's a controller. We've had those features on the Series X. I mean, I keep saying Series X. The elite controllers have something similar to what they have on this controller, except for the blowing on it. I will say this though, when I played, this is like one of the best features I've ever noticed. Like when I played Ghost of Tsushima, when you hit like you swipe up on that little pad they have in the middle, like I've never experienced that before. Like there's certain things you can do, like someone like who's blowing? Is that it sounds like crispy over there? But like there's certain things you can do in Ghost of Tsushima when you push up or left, right, you slide your finger or thumb, whatever, up, left, right, or whatever. It does certain things with the game. That is a cool feature that I really wish that we kind of had on the Xbox side, where like when you're playing like it saves a button, to do other things, right? So like if you're playing like Gears of War, could you imagine reloading using that, or maybe like when you're playing
No. You just no.
no, just listen. We're not talking to you right now. You already had to turn. I'm just
Well, you
giving you
said Gears of War. You said Gears of War.
yeah,
Dude.
like if you
No.
like you have to slide you're like how that little button goes across at the top of Gears, we time it right. If you kind of did that and timed it right with the little swipe part that you get on the PlayStation controller.
So are you saying that it would be automatically timed, because that's the only way that would make sense?
I don't know. I never implement this shit.
I'd rather have that, because that stupid freaking timing thing is so stupid. I think that's so fucking dumb.
It's supposed to be a mini game, asshole.
That's the one thing in Gears I fucking hate about that damn.
It's supposed to be a mini game. It's supposed to get you off the battlefield real quick.
Okay, here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example.
Stupid.
You're playing Forza and you have to shift gears.
That would be cool. That would be cool. And real quick, I just want to hit these super chats real quick. Yo, shout out to my brother, Sir X-Man. He says, welcome back, buddy, Xbot. Well, I got to say, welcome back to you in the chat. And one more time for Sir X-Man. He says, you can't use the blowing with you can use the blowing with Leisure Suit Larry. I'm feeling kind of like a theme going on tonight, and I don't know if I like it or not, man.
There is a lot of blowing.
Yeah.
But I actually think that'd be a cool idea to have that implementation, like for shifting gears on Forza, like you swipe down, go down second gear or whatever. That'd be pretty awesome. But like the blowing part, like I just don't know where I would ever use that in the game. Like any of the games I play, like if I play a lot of shooters, what am I gonna do? Like reload, jump. No, no, you're not gonna use that. So I mean, I'm curious to see how they do that going forward. But we can move on to the next. topic.
Check this out. Yo, pretty much the last topic. All right, and I put this in because when I first saw this, I kind of understood people getting upset, but then after thinking about it a little bit more, I was like, it's not really that big of a deal. And the thing about it is, I'm talking about the Xbox Series S, and certain games, like the new Yakuza that's coming out, is gonna be running 900p on the Series S, and there's gonna be certain games that are gonna be they're gonna be running at sub 1080p resolution when it comes to this, and there's been YouTubers out there asking like, what the hell is going on? This isn't next gen or anything like that. And again, I want to share my thoughts and then bring it to the panel, because I look at the Series S and the price point and it being the entry level, kind of like to the next gen. When I think of the next gen, I think about, it's using the SSD. It has the velocity architecture. It has the low latency for the controllers. There's a lot of things. The frame rates, in terms of, the CPU and the new cores that's in it and stuff like that. The ability to use ray tracing on that system, all for again, it was $300 for the Series S. Am I right? 300, guys? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So it's 300 entry level, and people are complaining that some of the games are not going to run at 1080p, even though they will be upscaled to 4K for people who do have a 4K television but decide that they're going to go entry level into the next gen. I think that the Series S is still a next gen console from all the things that I have listed. And I thought we were past this whole resolution thing. I can remember a few weeks ago, resolution doesn't really matter, and stuff like that. And it's funny how now, since certain games are going to be running below 1080p when it comes to the Series S, to really go in on different aspects of the game, now all of a sudden resolution means something again. I consider the Series S a next-gen system for the features that the system is going to have with it. The quick resume and all that good stuff. I don't see how the resolution of the game is going to determine whether or not people think it is a next-gen console. So, let me go to Predator on this one. I started with Predator on the very first topic. I'm going to start with Pred on our last topic as well. Now, Pred, again, YouTubers, people in the gaming media are getting upset about the Series S, this entry-level next-gen console, $300, $200 less than the Series X. Dude, what do you think? Does the lower resolution on select games going below 1080p, is this an issue for you? And is this something that makes you think that the Series S is not technically a next-gen console? And before you answer that, I do have a super chat. My bad, bro. I didn't want to cut you off in the middle of this. So, Sir X-Man, hitting up that super chat, bro. Oh. And he says, how about a new oh my goodness.
Oh,
really?
God.
How about a new Playboy game where you can blow on the girls? I can live with that. I'm pretty sure you can live with that, bro. And
Dirty old man.
I'm not sure if you would live stream it or not. But
I don't know. With Sir X-Men, he probably would
watch that on
live
Twitch,
stream it.
yeah, but yo, thank you, brother, for the support. I definitely appreciate that. But let's get to Pred. What do you think about people being upset, saying this is not a next gen console? Are you in agreement? What are your thoughts about these select games going at a resolution that's below 1080p, bro?
I would expect that if it's below 10. First of all, let me answer one of the parts of the question. That's not defining what a next gen console is, right? This game has this system has a better overall infrastructure than what we have currently. Yeah, so like that makes it next gen from the start. So like, I'll go ahead and throw that out there now. But it is disappointing that some games will run less than 1080p. I mean, like, let's be real. Like, you're expecting at least 1440 on every game going forward, because I mean, like, that's what we've been pushing. Nothing but power this entire generation, right? That was the narrative in the beginning, right? 1080p, 60, 1440p, 60 is what this console should run. But anything sub that is kind of disappointing to me. And again, it depends on the game. Like a game like Cyberpunk, if it can't push 1440 on that console, then I'll look at it this way. If you can't get guaranteed 1080p plus on this S, then why make it? Like, it makes no sense to me to make a console like that. But for some people, the budget that they have, may only allow them to get something at that price. So that gives an opportunity to get into next gen going forward. So I'll put it that way. But like, thinking in the PC space, if I have a game that can run, a rig, let me put it that way, and my graphics card's a 1070, and that's all it can do, or 980, I'll put it that way, because that's why I pulled out of my bullshit. And I can't push 1440p with a 980. Is that going to make my experience less? even though I spent, $600 on that card, is that gonna make my experience less than anybody else other than graphically? No, it's gonna be the same fucking game, but I just can't push it because of the hardware that I have. Like, you have an option to not buy that system and save more money to get the system you want. So keep that in mind. I personally would not buy a Series S, just because you're going forward into a new generation. You don't want to go into it limping in with the lower spec console. You want to get the best you can get, and that's just how I look at things. So I'm going to spend money on the top tier shit. I'm not going to spend it on the lower tier shit, but not everybody can do that. So if you want to get immersed into the next, look at it this way. A lot of people still, like, most PC gamers are playing 1440p. Like, that's a good sweet spot if you can get everything to that level. But for this console to be sub 1440, even sub 1080, I think it's a punch in the dick. It's like we had that already. We had that with the Series X.
Yeah.
The One X. Like, you expect it to be better than that. So if you're gonna pull the line on the One X, you need to replace it with something more powerful than the One X.
I gotta say, I hear where you're coming from, but dude, me personally, I gotta disagree with you because of all the features and stuff like that. And shout out to the chat, because people are saying, it's the developers. People are saying that Yakuza, they're not using the Velocity architecture in the Series S. I don't know about that per se. I don't know if they are, but I do know that what's underneath the hood of the Series S is definitely it's an upgrade to, say, the 1S. Definitely. Yeah. All right. And another thing is, for $300 being entry level, again, if you want the absolute kind of like top notch Xbox, you're going to get the Series X. But the people who will gravitate towards the Series S, besides the ones who just can't afford the next couple $100 for the Series X, I think that the consumer base, when it comes to the S, they're not really going to they don't really care about the overall resolution of the game anyway. Like, the upscaling is going to be fine for them. They're hitting a low. It's the cheapest next gen console as well. Yeah. And you're still getting like the quick resume. You're getting the SSD. You're still getting the next gen features. So I think people are making a bigger deal out of this than what really needs to be.
That's what makes it worth buying. But if you're okay with the long ass load times and shit like that, then the X, or I wouldn't even say the S. I would go with the X, the One X, not the One S. I would go with the One X and just keep that. But I'm curious to see, like, going forward in the next year, how long they support the Series S. Oh, just out of curiosity, if it's going to be like a 2-year thing. Because they're going to get rid of the 1S. I guarantee that, because they've already gotten rid of the 1X. You can't find that shit.
Yeah, 1S, they're going to get rid of that early next year. Definitely.
And so, I want to see if this console, people are buying the Series S right now because they can't find the 1X. But once everything kind of settles down, the dust settles, and they start having more stock, I want to see how long they support the Series S. That's going to be real. Because I would just save my money and get the other one, get the bigger one. I wouldn't sit there and fuck around with the 512 gigabyte, what has, unless you just you're one of those casual people who just plays Call of Duty and Madden and watch Netflix, and that's a perfect console for you going into next gen. But for the hardcore guys out there that want the more bang for their buck, most of those guys are going to get the Series X anyway. So.
Yeah. And real quick, shout out to one of the most intelligent gamers that I have met in this community, Delilah HD, hitting up that super chat, said 12 days to go. She is getting the chat pumped up. Shout out to you for that super chat. Thank you so much for the support. I definitely appreciate that. And shout out to a panel member, Mr. Crispy Bomb, who wants to go last again. So I'm gonna let him do that. So let's go to the Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus, because I thought this was really interesting, and when I first started watching these YouTube videos, I was like, you know what, I can see where they're coming from, but then I started thinking about it being the entry level, and I started thinking about who the consumer base was that they're aiming for when it comes to this product, and what that consumer base in general, because I know that individuals want different things, right? But in general, that consumer base, and I'm like, that's not really a big deal to me. Like I don't understand why people are so upset, but Dark, what do you think, man? Do you think this is a low blow here? Certain games are going to be running sub 1080p. I think Yakuza's at 900. I heard something about kind of like the Devil May Cry
Mm-hmm.
that's coming out, kind of like the reworking or re whatever
Yeah, it's
they're
a
doing with it.
remaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remastered. I'm so weird when I'm so awkward when it comes to newer games being remastered already. It's a
I
weird
know.
it's a
It's
weird
weird.
space for me, man. Like uncomfortable feelings. But like, and that game running at a lower resolution as well on the S. What's your
Hmm.
take on this, man? Do you consider that this whole resolution thing as a knock against it being a next gen console?
I look at the S like I look at the Switch. It's cheaper. It's gonna have, it's still gonna have, third-party stuff on it, but it's also gonna have exclusive stuff on it. And it's just I look at the S as like a secondary console. If somebody has a PlayStation, wants to just, play the next exclusive that's on the Xbox, they might just get an S just because it's cheaper. I could see a lot of people doing that. I can't see people like us though doing that. I can't see even myself doing that because for me, like, I'll admit it, I'm a graphics whore. I do like graphics. I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you should play on PC if you like graphics and stuff," and it's just like, well, I just don't have the patience for freaking for PC. Like, I just don't. I have no patience or tolerance for PC. Um, but I do like what the games look like on the PC though. I mean, I think, if it came down to it and all I could do was play on PC, I would do it because I'm not gonna stop playing games. Um, but
Hold
I
on,
think
Jesse, we love you, okay, Jesse? And I didn't change the day and not tell you. I put it all over Twitter. And Jesse, I know you follow me on Twitter, right? But my bad, Dark. Go ahead. And Crispy loves you as well.
I mean, we all love you. Everybody on this panel loves you. Because you're here every time we have a podcast, and we want you here. We want you listening to us. Um, I think it's it really comes down to, I think, who's really gonna buy this. It's gonna, like Pred said, it's gonna be the casuals. I think people who just play Call of Duty or Madden every year, and that's all they play, and then they use it for Netflix and stuff like that. I could
Dude,
see a
it's
lot
gonna
of
be a
people
great
doing
Game
that.
Pass box as well, man. Don't.
Right, exactly. That's really, honestly, that's really what it is a Game Pass box. It's basically like, I think the reason why people are a little upset about this is because it's the PlayStation 5 has two SKUs, right? And the Xbox has two SKUs, but the Series S isn't what, you know, the digital version of the PS5 is, and that the digital version of the PS5 is basically just a PS5 without a disc drive.
Yeah.
And this is more like a it's missing the disc drive, it's missing some of the features that they want that the Series X is that has. And I think a
Some
lot
of
of
the
people are
graphical
just,
capabilities, man. Like,
yeah, some of the graphical capabilities are missing there. So it's like, I think but I also agree with the whole devs thing. I think it really kind of does might leave it up to the devs a lot of times. Um, but I think even devs are like, well, honestly, that's why when we were talking about Cyberpunk and the 9 SKUs of freaking consoles, and PC and freaking Stadia, this is too much. It's just too much, man. I think it's really gonna come down to probably Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. That's what it's gonna be for I think for the like later on in the years as the years go by.
Mm.
I think the Series S will probably die out. I honestly, I even think the digital version of the PS5 might even die out. Even though I'm getting one, I even think that it might actually
Dude,
die
you
out.
got the unicorn out of the deal because
I
there
did.
was not a lot of all
Yeah,
digital PS5s put out
there's
there,
not.
man.
And I think there's a reason for that. And the reason is because I think they really want people to be able to utilize the 4K Blu-ray player that they put in the Sony PlayStation 5. Because they do own Blu-ray, and I think they realized that they screwed up when they didn't put they didn't put a
They're
4K
they're
Blu-ray
part
They
player
they're
in
part
the
invested.
they're
PS4 Pro.
part of the committee, man. They don't own Blu-ray. They're like one company out of like yo Pred how like there's like
No, they actually own Blu-ray. Like they own
No,
the
they are highly invested in the actual stock market for
They're
them.
part
That's it.
owners. There was a bunch of people who came together for it, but
yeah.
they own part of it, not all of it.
Yeah,
I
right.
want to say there's like
Well,
12 different companies, man.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a lot.
there are different companies, but I'm saying, that they're okay. Well, then I'm sorry, they're part owner. Next time I'll
There
say
you
they're
go.
part owner.
There you go. They
Um,
are 1/12 owner.
they're 1/12 of an owner, whatever. Um, I just think that they realized that they made a mistake in not putting that into the PS4 Pro, and they're like, I think they really want to get, I think honestly they're thinking like a lot of people aren't, for me, like I use my my Xbox One X for, Netflix and all the other features. I use my PlayStation for games, like that's all I use it for. Um, I have a 4K Blu-ray player that I use for my 4K Blu-rays because actually on the Xbox, I don't know if this is going to happen with the PlayStation 5 or the Series X, but I know on the Xbox One, there are some games, I mean some movies that don't work, 4K movies that don't work on the One X.
Huh.
Like Mission Impossible Fallout doesn't work on the One X. Lucy doesn't work on the One X, and several others don't work on the One X. So, I want to be able to watch all my movies that I have, so I have a separate, 4K Blu-ray player for that. Um, but I think, you know, it, it with the S, it's for it's a cheap console. I mean, what do you expect? Like you can't expect 300, 200. Well, what was it? It's $300, right?
Yeah.
$300. You can't expect it to be the power of the Series X or
Dude,
even the PlayStation 5.
I
You
loved your
just can't.
comparison with the Switch because the
Yeah, you
Switch,
can't compare them.
with the Switch you got 720
Yeah,
720p when you don't have it on the
have
dock.
it handheld. Yeah,
And on the TV, I think it does vary on the TV as well. Like
it
not
does.
everything
It
is.
varies. Yeah, not everything is 1080p. Some of it's I think 900p. It varies. It varies between the game. I think a lot of the games in the beginning were 1080p, but like now that they're getting a little bit more in depth with the games, and
Yeah,
some of the games are, a little bit more, a little bit more graphic heavy, I guess, in quote
little more
unquote PlayStation.
technical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
technical with Nintendo. Yeah, the games are going down in resolution. But that's the thing, like for me, resolution I think matters more than I think it does to you, bot. Um, because I think for me, like, uh, um, I just I don't think um that the the resolution is 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 um is not important, because I think it's important. I think resolution is important. I think frames per second are important. Um, and honestly, dude, we're going to see a lot of that this generation. We're going to be seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, the resolution isn't good on this game or that game," and it's going to be on both ends. It's not just going to be on Xboxes, but it's going to be on PlayStation as well. I think a lot of people are going to be like, "Why is PlayStation 5 having dynamic 4K with 60 frames per second when on the X it's native 4K?" You know, and it might be even vice versa with some of the games and stuff like that. It just really depends on the devs and how they want to optimize those consoles.
Mhm.
And I think it's really going to come down to
It's gonna come
what
down to them.
Xbox. Well, I think what it's going to come down to what Xbox and PlayStation is going to do going forward with these consoles, because I guarantee you they're not going to keep two consoles on the market. They're just
Yeah.
not. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I will disagree with you on that, but you did make some good points, and I do want to shout out our brother Sir X-Man for hitting up that super chat one more time. He says they should have kept the Xbox One X and made it $400. Believe it or not, that would have competed with Sony's no disc system. That's the truth. Now, Sir X-Man, I hear what you're saying. All right, I definitely hear what you're saying, but I think some of the key features, like the dramatic decrease in load times, the quick resume, stuff like that, you wouldn't have that in the One X. And since you
Well,
don't, what
I
can I
think
just?
but I think they should have. I think they should have just done a discless Series X. To be honest.
But dude, again, with the hardware that is underneath the hood. Oh, you said just a diskless Series X. Wow.
Right.
That
That would still be $400. They're going for a $300 price point. I
yeah,
mean, my brain is hurting right now. I'm just saying.
dude, I don't know. I like what they did for the entry level, and I think it's
Nah.
something. Me personally, I think it's something different. It's something that'll get more people into the next generation of consoles. And I think they are catering, like they're with that system. They are catering. They are looking towards a demographic that wouldn't necessarily care about overall resolution anyway. You're looking at a really good Game Pass box. Because it definitely has lower memory in terms of being able to store games and stuff like that on it. I could definitely see it be a good Game Pass box to go along with the NBA 2K or the Madden or the Call of Duty for that demographic. I really don't have an issue with this really, and I still think of it as a next gen console. So I don't know. Let's go to Crispy on this one, man. Crispy said, save him for last. So we did, and I don't really see kind of like the outcry that's going on here, man. What about you, brother? What do you think? Yeah.
What outcry? You have to understand that you have to invest in every single aspect. So let's say, hypothetically, I have a Vizio TV upstairs. It's 1080p. That's as far as it's going. Okay? But it's 120 frames per second. Okay? It's 120 hertz. I bought it about 8 years ago. Okay? I went for the FPS or the hertz, as the TV enthusiasts like to call it. And you hook it up to an Xbox Series X. This shit ain't gonna look any better, bro. It's not. Okay? So you have to understand that we're not even at 50% yet for adoption rate to 4K TVs. And they run at 60 hertz if you go entry level. So why in God's name would Xbox just say, hey, we're gonna push out this lower tier console and this new tier console that, the Series X, great. That's what I'm buying. That's all I care about. But for the casual gamer or little Timmy down in the basement playing those games, guess what? He got that 1080p
Damn,
And
I'm gonna start a
maybe-
little Timmy charity fund because Timmy is getting rocked when it comes to like
Well,
the entry level
why you
all
guys
the
picking
time.
on-
well, you know what?
Timmy,
You
man.
know what? Everybody forgets
Timmy's
that.
entitled.
Everybody forgets that you could buy the box, but if you don't have the damn TV or the monitor or whatever that is going to make it actually look the way it should,
You
that's
can buy the
you
box, but if you don't
problem.
have games for it, then
How many times are you going to bring up games? Because all I see is old game and another old game that includes DLC. There you go. Have a good day. Shut up about that. Please, for the love
Wow.
of God. Because I'm going to play Gears 5 because I got the TV,
Old
by
game.
the way, at 120 frames per second.
old game.
Well,
Old game.
hey, why is
160
it
hertz
Demon
TV.
Souls? Why is it Demon Souls playing at 120 frames per second then? Since it's an old game, right? How about Miles Morales? Hey, we got 60. We're happy. Yeah, okay. You good with that? I've been playing Gears 5 at 60 for a long time.
Yeah,
So,
Rel's
how about
here.
them apples?
It is the performance mode as well, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go. There's no performance mode with Gears 5, and I'm on my 1X, bro. Come on. And I'm playing multiplayer against multiple different servers, and then whatever the hell is going on in the back end. Come on,
All I gotta
dude.
say to that is old game.
Oh man.
Well, you bringing up old games, so I mean, let's go there. I mean, you can't even touch on the 1X. What you talking about the old game on the PS5, bro? Let's go. Like, dude, you have to understand. You have to have the hardware involved, including the damn TV or monitor, to be able to push out what you're purchasing. And you know what? Series S, pretty smart. That's what it comes down to. It's pretty smart because, hey, we're not even at 50% adoption rate for 4K. And you got little Timmy sitting in the basement saying, I just want the game to play clear. That's all I care about. I don't care how it looks. I just want it to move right.
Hashtag
And
Timmy.
that's what Series S gives you for $300 freaking dollars. Guess what? Everybody says 1X should have been $400. Well, guess what? It was already $300, and I bought my girlfriend one. So get your head out of your ass. Understand that there's a lot of things, a lot of variables involved in when you purchase a certain product, and it goes with almost anything you purchase. If you are purchasing a console, which console gamers are very niche and they're few and far between because you're talking 200 million compared to 3.5 billion that play on their damn mobile phone. Xbox is hitting you in all ways, shapes, or forms. And you know what? You might hate what it looks like on a certain platform. Well, guess what? If you're playing on your phone and you say this shit looks like trash, well, guess what? You're playing on a phone, dude. Get your head out of your ass.
Speaking of that, real quick, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat. He said, screw it, I'm going to PC Master Race.
Come on, brother.
Make sure you buy the monitor, not like Pred.
Pred is welcoming you. Pred's got a crazy monitor. What are you talking about, bro?
Well, he ain't talking about the monitor because
Dude,
you know
also
what?
got a
Remember
crazy
that picture?
graphics card now.
You said you invested $600 in something. You didn't invest. What you still tell me you play a
Pred's got like an
1440p,
extra
right?
wide monitor, man.
I
He's
got
got
like a
1440p though, right?
Yeah, I always play on 1440p on PC though.
There you
I don't
go.
need 4K.
Oh man.
So why does it matter?
Because I want to play in 1440p with higher frame rates.
There you go.
Is that the right answer?
That is the right answer.
Ding ding ding. Tell him what he's
See,
won,
because
Johnny.
Because they didn't
Dude,
make 4K monitors when I bought the monitor that I bought.
What
That's why I
I'm
got
saying
it.
to you is you could literally buy a 1080p TV at 240 frames per second
Not on PC.
and pay less
Yo, Crispy, do you see Sir
than
X-Man super
even
chat
your
real quick?
monitor.
Do you
A
see his...
4K monitor the size that I have is going to run me almost $2,000. And I wasn't going to do that.
Well, see, like the investment that's involved, this is a smart play by Xbox. I mean, I'm not trying to trash you, Predator. I'm just,
Sounds
dude,
like
like
a
we're
Sounds like John Trash.
We are hardcore
Trash.
gamers.
John Trash.
Dude, you love PC. You bought a 3080, right?
I did.
Okay, so you're a hardcore gamer. You love that. You have the money to invest in that, correct?
Balling bitches. That's
Yo,
right.
Not
guys,
everyone.
guys.
Wait, he gives me shit about fucking liking PlayStation, but yeah, he's not gonna give shit to Pred for being a PC guy. What
I'm
the
not a
fuck is
PC
that
guy,
shit
I'm an
about?
Xbox guy.
Wait,
First of all.
Sir
I just
X-Men
decided
said,
to
love you,
transition
Crispy.
a little bit.
Love you too, bro.
Yeah, and not for anything, but with talking about little Timmy all the time, we got to shout out Tim Brewster. He's like, we're making fun of him. We are picking on
Sorry,
Tim
Timmy.
Brewster.
Get back to the basement, little Timmy. Damn it.
Now, every
Wow.
time he's in chat, I'm gonna have to make sure I say something about it.
Yo, shout out to little Timmy and his entry level console.
You change your name, Brewster, to Timmy. Little Timmy.
Yeah,
Little
well,
Timmy
I mean, come on. My point is correct. Like, dude, you have to have the actual, hardware on the back end to actually make what you visually see, and that's the whole point. Like, a lot of people don't have that, and I feel the Series S is a good entry level position for having. I mean, frames per second right now, at least on 1080p, is actually much higher than you would even realize. It's at 240. You know what I'm saying? So people are gonna experience a smoother gaming experience than they've ever felt playing on even the One X. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, there's certain games like Gears 5, I bring it up all the time, but a lot of the games are locked at 30 on the One X. So
if we went an entire show without you bringing up Gears, I think people would feel like the
It's
show,
gonna be a drinking game.
the show was missing something.
If he didn't talk about Gears one episode, I'd be in heaven. I wouldn't even be calling him Satan anymore. I'd just be like, oh, the angels are singing.
That's gonna be an internal bet.
are you challenged?
He can't bring up Gears. Xbox can't bring up Halo.
What?
Or Destiny.
Or Destiny.
Oh, that was good, Brad. Yeah.
We'll see how long we get in the show.
I can do that, man. I can do that. Like, that's no problem,
I don't know,
I'm
but
done. I'm just saying. that the Series S has a place, and they're going after frames per second. That's all I'm saying. Like, they're going after a smooth experience, and they're still not leaving out. They're still not leaving out ray tracing and everything else on even your shit TV that you have, the TCL, as King David likes to call it. So there you go.
I don't know. The new 2020 TCLs are actually pretty good, but
honestly, don't shit on TCLs, man. TCLs have gotten people,
it's gotten better.
Well, LG was back then too. So now all of a sudden they've come into the forefront of everybody wants one.
Shout out to Yobi. I have an LG 4K TV. Oh, hold on real quick. Yo, Sir X-Man, one more time. Hitting up that super chat. He says, Crystal said hardware on the back end. I feel like blowing something. Oh my goodness. Yo, Sir X-Man, I love you, brother. I love you.
Sir X, the dual sense is here for you, bro.
Oh, brother, we got to play golf.
I'll definitely be blowing something on November 12th. So.
Wow. And guys,
can he blow the golf ball into the hole? There you go.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I would just get the golf game just for that.
Guys, I think we've reached our time, man. I really do. I think this is a perfect time to sign off on everything.
It's time to leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and contemplate my decisions today. But no, guys, absolutely, yeah. Take like 3 showers with Brillo. Anyway, but
not shower with Daddy though.
No. Yo, no, but seriously, panel, it has been an absolutely awesome show. Yo, shout out to the chat, all you guys hanging around, talking games with us tonight. Again, we've been away for a few weeks, man, and to see everybody come back and just hit the stride like we never went anywhere. Yo, huge shout out to you guys. Definitely love all the support that we get on this show and this channel. Thank you guys so much. We do, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in. And since I put him last so many times tonight, yo, yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up the super chat one more time. He says, I was saying crispy voice. Crispy voice to text sucks. Sorry. So not crispy. It wasn't crystal. It was crispy. So I was wondering what the crispy said hardware on the back.
He was driving. It's okay.
Okay. But I don't know. So maybe your name for tonight can be Crystal. I don't know. But yeah. But
I'm that crystal ball that you just never see, but all of a sudden it comes into fruition.
More like crystal meth.
Wow. That was a perfect.
Never done it,
right
but
there.
you should know, right, Dark? Yeah, there you go.
Guys, I have absolutely no idea what's going on anymore. So
Satan is here, buddy.
Yo, Crispy, you are on a bunch of shows. You are a part of the gaming podcast community. You got to let people know where you're going to be throughout the week. And of course, your social media. I know you're on Twitter. You want to share your gamer tag, stuff like that. All that good stuff. Now is the time to do it, bro.
Well, Bod, dude, I just love that we're back, man. And I'm glad you're well, bro. That's, I'm right up the road, like 45 minutes, man. Come see you, come chill out, bro. Yeah, it's at Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28 Xbox Live. If it's on Game Pass, I will try it out. I mean, I have 20 gigs left, but I'll start deleting stuff. I mean, I don't care. I mean, that's how I roll. Like, I just want to have fun with the community, and that's all that matters. And yeah, Breakfast with Boom tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. It's gonna be fun. I'm sure. I'm hearing King David will be there, so he's gonna take people's knees, but that's fine. Yeah, and then you got Retro Renegade 7 p.m. Tuesday nights, and yeah, for this upcoming week, yes, I'm going to be on Gaming After Dark with Mr. Noof Nukem,
Nice.
Titan Drago, and Mag, the middle-aged game guy. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to be kind of crazy, I'm sure.
That's definitely going to be an interesting show with you on there, man.
So it's always fun with those guys, and I just try to have fun, man. Like, let's get it, dude. Like, we're back, baby. Next podcast is back. Let's do it. 7 p.m. Thursdays. We're back.
Nice, brother. Yeah, everybody, let people know. Yeah, we were gone for a little bit, and shout out to you guys for your patience, man. It has been an absolutely incredible night. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I've been smiling all night tonight, and it has everything to do with the panel and everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Next on the list, let's go to the West Coast, man. We got to go to my brother Dark Optimus. Yo, Dark, as always, it's always good to get together, talk games with you, man. And your support behind the scenes as well. With everything that was going on, I really do appreciate that as well. It is time to get those plugs in, and the thing about it with you, man, because you were on multiple shows at one point in time, and you have the rhythm down pat on how to deliver your outros, man. Every time I hear it, I'm like, damn, he's got that down pat. But if there's anything else you want to announce, as well as kind of like what you originally do, now is the time. But the floor is yours, bro.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And all I gotta say is that Crispy's not gonna have any games to play this November.
Oh no! You're supposed to say old games, dude. Old games.
Oh yeah, that's right. Old games.
There you go.
I'm just
bro.
I'm just playing. You know me. I'm gonna get that Series X when I can get it, and there ain't gonna be no issues there.
Hey, you got the PS5, bro. I'm happy for you.
Yo, What happened to Griffin Gaming with his card? Because like, Dude, I became a fan of his channel.
I'll tell you offline.
Oh, okay. Yo, Griffin, I love his video. Anybody who takes his videos seriously, I feel really bad for you.
Yeah.
Like I just think he's crazy.
You might want to seek professional help if you think he's serious.
Yeah, like and I can swear he was following me at one point in time when he was on Twitter. And I was hoping that he would do one of his videos about the next podcast. I wanted to see him go in on this crew on this channel. It would have been great. Maybe.
Well, he doesn't go about trashing on truth. Yeah, there you
go. I would love to see it though, man. Like I really would. A lot of his stuff. I really points in time
Crispy
when
has true delusions.
Yeah. Wow. But all right. Let's go on to last. But
keep that same energy, Dark. Come on now.
Oh, same energy. But yo, oh man, yo, shout out to Griffin Gaming, yo. But yo, last but certainly not least, my brother Predator. I went to him first on a couple topics. Yo, Pred, you held it down tonight, man. And as usual, absolutely love, every Thursday coming in and talking games with you guys. Dude, do you have any announcements? Are you going to be anywhere throughout the week? What's going on, man?
No. I'm going to be home fucking with my PC and trying to test some games I haven't played yet on it. And I just got my Watch Dogs Legion's code.
Ooh, nice.
About 30 minutes ago. It's downloading right now, so I'm going to try and play that here in a little bit. Watching my shitty-ass Cowboys lose this weekend. And that's about it. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Predator_HOS.
Hey, did you get Legion for free?
It's my outro.
Graphics card?
Yes, I did. Are you done fucking up my outro now?
Yeah.
Yo, didn't the Cowboys lose to Washington at one point?
Cowboys are going to lose everybody the rest of the year, so don't worry about it. This is not a sports podcast. This is a goddamn video game podcast.
Just wondering.
Asshole. Next question.
All right, well, yeah, yo, again, shout out to K Mega. Unfortunately, he could not be here this week. And he's having power issues at his house. So, yo, shout out to him, man. I hope everything works out.
He didn't pay his electricity bill. That's what that is.
That is not true. It wasn't
the
ice
wattage is real.
He's on OnlyFans right now trying to make up that money.
Wow. Yo, shout out. I'm gonna have to do a super chat after he said that. So, yo, shout out to Jose Molina hitting up that super chat. He says, "Nice to hear you guys are back. Really missed the show. I am really excited to hear the show again, especially as today is my birthday." Well, Jose, happy birthday to you, brother.
Happy birthday, dude.
Dude, that made tonight's show extra
Happy
special.
Birthday, man. I'll tell K Mega so he'll give you a free sub to his own.
Yeah, we'll send we'll send a carrier pigeon over to him, man, because I'm not sure if we can call him or anything.
You're gonna send him a free sub to your OnlyFans, right, Brent?
Next week he's gonna be mad as shit. I didn't get my free sub last week.
Well, you got to send one of yours to him too.
Y'all ain't ready for that.
Wow.
He's ready for OnlyFans. Come on, Pred.
Guy, okay. When we start getting over there, now we know it's time to go. Yo, again, huge shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I really, really do appreciate it. But yeah, it is time to end the show, and I'm gonna do it the way I normally do it. We will see you guys next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody. It just sounds so nasty. Ew.